sure he doesn't fall far from the faggot's ass.
Welcome everybody to another BDA Boxing Podcast, special edition for your asses, a late night edition. You gotta make a late night edition after the hijinks that just occurred. And boy, what a set of hijinks we just had. First of all, if you're new to the program, don't forget to check us out on Spreaker. Don't forget to check us out on iTunes, where you can download the episodes uncut and raw. Don't forget to also check out our Twitter page. And if you want to keep the gravy train rolling, you can donate via PayPal, you can donate via Patreon, or via the Super Chat feature that you can find in your chat below. Let me ask something. What are people saying? What are people saying about the potential Deontay Wilder-Joshua fight now?
Excuse me.
Well, there you have it. That's about the reaction a lot of us are having at this moment. Before we continue, gotta give a shout out to everybody in the chat room joining us, or loyal members of the BDA family. I'm talking about Apology Man, Azzy, Canelo, Endgame, Squirt Circle, Dan Mac, AAMB, BK, Pete, 12 Kid, Jay Green, Apology, well, Dick Justice, Luke Peterson, and many more, I am sure. Let's get this show on the road. I forgot to introduce my co-host, Bucho. Bucho, are you there?
Yes, sir.
All right.
And
now,
it's my girlfriend is going crazy because she likes to place bets on any type of fight, right? And so she's like, "Oh, let's put some money on this fight." Well, I'm like, "Nah, like this guy has no fucking chance." So now she's fucking mad at me. We're arguing, and I don't know what to say, man. Like,
put her on. I'll straighten her out. I'm kidding. Don't do
Yeah.
that. Don't do that. Don't
Okay.
do that. Don't do that. No, don't do that. Don't do that. What the fuck are you saying?
no.
She's probably drunk.
She doesn't want to.
Yeah, there you go.
You work for me, remember? I know what you did. You're a damn predator. All right, just get the hell out of here. Huh? I gotta go.
Hey, listen, man. Bucho, start sending the invites, please, if you can. And, so that would, because I know you've been streaming the whole
I
day.
need some bail money.
You do?
On a Sunday morning.
It's about to be Sunday, so let's better get this straight. Butcher, if you can start sending the invites. Meanwhile, I'll talk a little bit about what happened. Also, I want to give a chance to the chat to see what they have to say about this before I go on. Mr. E say AJ's mind was gone before the first bell. Ah, shit. I can I can go back though. What was he saying? AJ's mind was gone before the first bell. At the intros, he was chewing gum. His gum chilled and looked far away. Backmaster says, I'm actually happy about this result too. Zapata Boxing says, Bucho is pissed, lol. The Shepherd Son says, Sporting Icons and Hatman are in tears right now. Or are those guys Joshua fans? Jay Green says, Ruiz was great on the night. Mateus Lisa says, Joshua has less chin than Maloney got balls. That Maloney's got balls. Okay, I get that. I get the reference. The Frank Malone. Or what is it? Shirley Malone now? Anyway, Squirt Circle says, what are the odds for Ruiz? I don't know what the odds were, but anybody that placed a bet on Ruiz must be smiling from cheek to cheek right now, or ear to ear, cheek to cheek. What am I saying? Jeez. I mean, listen, 11:37. This is the latest we've ever started a podcast, all right? So you got to give me a little credit here for even being up. I was about to go to sleep, by the way. As soon as the fight was done, I was ready to hit the hay. But we got loyal listeners. You guys, you know who you are. You know who you are.
You're a Jew.
Now, wait a minute, I didn't say that. Hey, listen, let's continue seeing what the people are saying in the chat room. Subash War says Joshua lacks juice. That's what I was thinking during the fight. When he was dead tired, I said, you know what? They should have Panama Lewis in there and give him that special bottle, the one I mixed. But they forgot to do that. By the way, can I just say something before the panels get here and I'm not going to have a chance to speak? This is why you don't marinate fights, you cocksuckers. Because then shit like this happens. Deontay Wilder, I said it before in another podcast. Deontay Wilder had a 50-50 chance in this fight. I said that about 2 episodes ago because Joshua's chin is unreliable, and so is Joshua's. Joshua's chin and the Wilder's chin, they're both unreliable. That's what I'm trying to get across here. And with Wilder's defensive liabilities, it was a 50-50 fight. But they both decided to stall. Already, Wilder was announcing that he was going to take on Fury after Ortiz. Well, guess what now? No fight. 100 million down the drain. Now, not all is lost. Joshua can still come back and beat Ruiz in a rematch. Kind of like Lennox Lewis did back in the day. Remember that? When he lost to McCollum? Well, he was able to come back and became one of the greatest heavyweights of all time. But it's going to take a little bit of dedication now. And all that muscle could not help him. And then he's laughing also while he's getting dropped. That was the thing that got to me the most. He's getting the shit beat out of him, and he's laughing while he's going down.
What the fuck is wrong with this guy? Am I kidding me or what?
I don't know, but it was certainly funny. All right, we got Apology Man on. Hold on a second before we continue. Before I introduce Apology, Gonzalo just donated, so I'm waiting for the sub alert. Where's the sub alert? It's almost Sunday, by the way. Oh, there we go. Shout out to Gonzalo, who says the best amateurs from Mexico came from Mexicali. It's tough, hot desert to live in. Ruiz as the true Mexican fighter. Well, I got to give credit to Gonzalo. I think he picked Ruiz, or at least picked him to go the distance, which is what more than most everybody decided to go on. Let's go to Apology Man and let's play his intro so that everybody knows that he is indeed here.
Speak of the devil, and it shall appear.
She just wanted the drama and you two to fight over her. That's what women do.
Your punishment must be masturbate.
all of you.
Bitches are stupid, I treat them like shit. That's how you get one to eat a dick. Never be sweet to a bitch.
Alright. Apology, are you there?
Yo.
Apology, first of all, I gotta thank you for the contributions you gave earlier in the other chats, in the other podcasts rather. Really appreciate that, keeping the gravy train rolling. Apology, are you understandably in shock because it's an upset or because you're British?
A bit of both. First of all, I'd like to say I've got you my crow on that one. Got that completely wrong. But yeah, Ruiz came in. He didn't look like he was scared. Joshua looked like the one who was scared. Like all the pressure was on him. And Ruiz just came in there. Even after he got knocked down, he still fought like he didn't have no fear. and Joshua, you just knocked Joshua out.
Do you think it was a classic case of him overlooking Ruiz, or is Ruiz underrated?
100%. Ruiz underrated. I think he is a little bit. I definitely underrated him, but I think Joshua was thinking Fury, Wilder, 100 million, and he got knocked out. So hopefully he learns from this. Like that's the mark of a true champion. Can he come
Yes,
back from a devastating loss like this? He
absolutely.
ties up his defense, cuts all the weight, and improves in the gym.
Absolutely, absolutely. That is, you hit the nail on the head, and that's what I said in the beginning of this transmission. I said, if he can. By the way, can you hear me properly, or am I a little too low?
Yeah,
Okay, perfect. And that's what I said
you're
in the beginning.
fine.
Perfect, thank you. That's what I said in the beginning of the transmission. I said it could go the way of a Lennox Lewis type scenario, but the fact remains, at this point, he got stopped. He didn't want to continue. That's why he kept looking at his corner. He was dead tired. He was dead tired right before the round previous to the stoppage, and it's a classic case of him overlooking Ruiz. Maybe Ruiz also being a little bit better than we expected, but also apology. Does this serve as an example now to these fucking promoters and fighters not to over marinate a fight?
I'm so in the back of my sorry, John, but real quick. In the back of my mind, I'm so glad this happened because now the promoters were getting money for screwing us years worth of good fights. So fuck them.
Wait a minute. Are you saying fuck the promoters?
Yes, they won't get their monies. They won't get their money off the big fights.
That's enough.
All right. We got Johnny Boy as well on the hangout. Johnny Boy and Gonzalo. Thank you guys for being here. And Gonzalo, thank you again for the contribution. Let's go to Johnny Boy, who got here first. Johnny Boy, what are your thoughts on this monumental upset? And I gotta ask you the same thing I asked Apology Man. Is this a classic case of the A side overlooking one fighter, or is Ruiz a little better than we expected?
Both. It's both. Don't overlook anybody, and Andy Ruiz is better than we all thought he was. Listen, man, and like you just said, BDA, that's a perfect fucking example.
That's right.
Don't marinate the fight too long.
Mm-hmm.
Perfect example. This is what happens. Like what did Armand DeSanti say? He said they're squeezing a quarter until the eagle screams. BDA.
What was that?
Don't marinate these.
What movie is that from? From Asante? What movie from Asante is that from?
The Gotti one.
Oh, the Gotti one. Okay.
Yeah.
I heard you guys talk real quick.
A quarter till.
Real quick, I heard you guys talking about Armand Asante. Have you ever seen Q&A?
No.
Okay, watch that movie. It's a great movie with Asante. He's not the main character, but he plays one of the main characters. He plays this fucking Latin, New York, Puerto Rican, Cuban, I don't know what the fuck he is, gangster, and he's Italian, right? I think.
No, he's Puerto Rican.
Oh, he's Puerto Rican. Okay, then that makes sense then, because he does a very good. So he can play. He's a Puerto Rican who can play an Italian and who can play a fucking Puerto Rican kingpin. That's fucking fantastic. By the way, listen, I'm digressing. Sorry.
Let me just say one more thing. I know Gypsy and Gonzalo just jumped on here. Listen, like I say, that's the perfect case of don't over marinate these fucking fights.
Mm-hmm.
Number one. Number two, I could not be happier for Andy Ruiz. I ain't even fucking ashamed to say it. I got a little choked up there. What a class act. The whole fucking world read him off. Nobody gave him a shot in hell. And the guy's 6 inches fucking bigger than him. I have nothing but fucking respect for that kid. You know that?
Yeah, I agree, man. I mean, you got that's what boxing is all about. The upsets. This is what we live for. And like Apology said, it does make it a little bit. It does give a little Schadenfreude. I forget the German word for it, but a little bit of glee in seeing these promoters getting a money shot, an ejaculation shot in the face for having over marinated this fight for so long. Fuck them. And by the way, hold on. Apology, Gypsy. We gotta introduce you first before you can speak. By the way, in tribute of Armand Asante. Oh, sorry, that's not the one.
Hey, Frankie, go fuck yourself. Hey, Frankie, go fuck yourself. Hey, Frankie, go fuck yourself.
I've had that for years, waiting to play that fucking soundbite. Finally, it came place to play it.
Let me tell you something, BDA, real quickly.
Real quick.
These fucking feds got microscopes where they can hear a fucking snake fart in Egypt.
Hey, by the way, how many fucking Soprano characters were in that Gotti movie? That was insane. Anyway, hold on. Before we continue, I gotta introduce, because nobody wants to hear us talk about fucking The Sopranos. I gotta introduce. Hold on, we got Gypsy. Where's his fucking intro? Hold on a second. I'll find it.
I'm gonna blow this internet up right about now. Bro, what's up? What's up with all that shit talking, bro? I'm being real. Because I picked Honest.
We also have Reverse for a long time. We haven't seen him. We got to play his intro.
Reversely.
That people say that's where you go if you want your career to blow up.
California, man. That's
the land of the pedophiles.
And we got Pavel as well.
Antisocial personality disorder. Behaviorally is someone who does not have a conscience, does not have remorse, does not feel a sense of guilt.
This man's dangerous. He is dangerous.
All right, so we got a packed house already. We got to be careful not to talk over each other, guys. I know it's late in the night as well, so let's try to keep things relaxed. I want to start with who got here. Okay, Gonzalo. Gonzalo, you were one of the guys who gave Ruiz the best chance of at least going the distance. Are you surprised, or did you see this coming?
Yes. Thank you, BDA. I'm a little surprised, but I'm not amazed because he's the third competitor with the second attempt to try to win a heavyweight title for the Mexicans.
Mm-hmm.
Now, we know these guys have been chipping away for a while. You know, Mexicans get criticized for many things that we do wrong, but one thing they've been maintaining themselves loyal to is the art of fighting. Okay,
That's
now
right.
we got this big guy that came in heavy at 260, but as we saw, he had speed. So like I was conferring to Bucho when we were on the live stream, speed, whether it's fat or muscle, at a velocity of, you know, as far as physics, you know, speed plus weight equals power. So
That's
this
right.
guy was putting the punches together at 260 with the equivalency to the speed to the sheer, you know, fact that he was throwing hey, Lobito, shut up. And anyhow, I have to give credit to Ruiz, and I have to say one thing about the Mexicans: the amateurs, the best guys come out of Mexicali, Mexico. It's in the Imperial Valley on the Mexican side. It's really hot there, and these guys are always beating up on the guys from Tijuana and Mexico.
Mm-hmm.
So with the guy having 110 fights and 2 amateur Pan American gold medals and only 5 losses, you know, I have to give credit to the guy. You know, he had never been knocked out before. So yes, obviously Anthony Joshua being the gold medalist, he was favored to win on paper. Him being the muscle guy Adonis, but where I have to give myself a little bit of pat on the back, more so just to end this very fast, is that like I never discounted the smaller guys, and I'm not talking about just like weight size. The shorter guys with, you know, being the ones to like having like to give up to the taller guys.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the smaller guys are always going to have a chance. Because they
Absolutely.
can get inside, and we know Klitschko was successful because he clinched a lot. But anyhow, you know, the small guys have to root for them. The guys above 6'5", they're always going to be live dogs in the fight. And I credit to Andy Ruiz, and I would still favor him to beat Anthony Joshua in a rematch because he was just the better man tonight.
Whoa, you would actually
That's
still
all.
you would still favor him over Joshua in a rematch? Is that what you
Yes,
said?
I would, because he showed that the chin was never. He got dropped, but the guy's 29 years old. He's a fresh man. He's not like a Povietin, which was able to win a few rounds against Joshua, but he's 40 years old. 11
That's
years
right.
makes a whole lot of a difference. And like
That's
I was
true.
saying, this guy's from the Imperial Valley for Mexicali. Mexico is like 102 degrees. You could boil an egg in the ground. These guys are tough. They don't come to lay down for nobody.
Gonzalo,
You know,
what,
and and the Mexican guys are proving themselves to be chipping away, that they're kind of making a mark in the bigger weights.
Gonzalo, let me ask you something. Was Jose Luis Castillo from Mexicali, from the state of Mexicali?
Who's that? BDA, Mr.
Jose
BDA.
Luis Castillo. Jose Luis Castillo, the guy who almost beat or should have
Jose Luis
beaten.
Castillo's from Sonora, which is kind of like parallel, just a few miles. It's pretty much the same region.
Okay.
Jose Luis
But
Castillo, Jose Luis Ramirez, Puerto Peñasco, the guy
okay.
from Gallo Strada. Those guys are from the same area.
Gonzalo, let me just real quick. I gotta read John Gonzalez, who contributed a couple of minutes ago. I forgot. I couldn't read his comment. Thank you, John, for donating. And he says, this is for the diabetic Rocky. Viva la panza. Absolutely. Listen, Andy Ruiz is giving hope to all fatzos out
You
there.
fat fucking scumbag!
No. We gotta give him credit. This motherfucker came in to fight. He didn't he didn't take any fucking shortcuts. And by the way, Gonzalo, please stop abusing your dog. We can hear it all the way here, right? Gonzalo, stop abusing your dog, man.
You know what? You know, Mr. BDA, I'm kind of like excited because I got a Belgian Malinois. He's like 50 pounds. He's a police dog, but today I'm buying an Applehead Chihuahua here in the Philippines, a Mexican dog.
A police dog.
His name is gonna be Canelo. He's a chocolate brown with tan, and I'm gonna name him Canelo.
No kidding.
The guy reserved him for me, and yesterday I got the call. I'm gonna go and pick him. He's an Applehead Chihuahua. Very nice.
Probably
like
a
the side of my
racist.
flip-flop.
Probably a racist. Yeah, it's already probably a racist dog, right? For the cops or something. Anyway.
I told you I was going to kick the shit out of Anthony Joshua. All Randy Ruiz was missing the smoke hanging out of his mouth.
All right.
That was me.
All right, listen, hold on. Before we continue, I want to get to Boxing Style, who's been here. He wants to say something. Boxing Style, go ahead. You have the floor.
What's up, guys?
What's up, man?
Spectacular fight, bro. 12 rounds. My decision was 12 rounds. Controversial. That's what I was thinking. That most likely. But I was also thinking that maybe he gets finished in the 11th round.
Now, let me ask you something.
After that second round, I was like, this is going a different direction. I think Ruiz might get it, might knock him out. Then my fucking stream went fucking down after like six, 7 rounds. And then I hear fucking Bucho like, what the fuck just happened? I replay the shit. I find out the fight is over, bro. I'm like, it's not that surprising because the fool doesn't really have a good chin, man. Wilder would knock him out. I guarantee you. I told you this before. If Ruiz did this to him, Wilder would knock him out 100%.
I said the same thing. I said the same thing. I wasn't sure that Wilder could do it, but a minimum, it still a 50. It was and it still remains a 50-50 fight, right?
Not to me. Well, you guys can go 50-50.
Well, I mean, but you know what I'm saying, right? I mean that Joshua could get to him first, or Wilder could get to him first. Now you're going with Wilder, but
to me, 50-50 is Ruiz and Wilder. That's 50-50 for sure.
Okay.
50 because if he catches him, how is Ruiz going to take that shit? I don't know how Ruiz can take that kind of power. It's not.
Well, I'll tell you one thing, Gypsy. If he moves his waist like Mike Tyson, moving from side to side in a rapid motion, and you get in there and clip him, if this guy goes crazy, the one thing that Wilder hasn't been exposed to when he tries to go to the kill, when a man's hurt, he's the most dangerous. But if Ruiz is able to get him when this guy's going for the kill, even whether Ruiz is hurt or not, because he's showed his good chin. I'm not saying that Wilder can't catch him, put him on Queer Street. Yes, he can, obviously. He's a bigger guy fighting a small, chubby Mexican. We all gave fucking Andy Ruiz Jr. Shit for. But obviously at 260, he's still a crashing freight train where he can get speed together where it's fat, whether it's muscle, but still speed. And mass plus speed equals power. Like a locomotive.
Bro, Precise was saying he got no pop, but he got pop, bro. That fool got pop.
Well, I kind of have to kick. He at 260. If you're fat or muscle and you got speed and you're still fucking throwing your shots at high speed, that mass is still gonna be the same. It's 260. You know?
That's true.
Case in point, when he fought Parker, he was pushing Parker back. When Parker fought AJ, Parker was pushing AJ back.
Okay, check it out. Pound per pound. What weighs more? A feather or a piece of iron? Like fucking pound per pound. If we got a pound of feathers and a pound of iron, what weighs more? They weigh the same, right? And if you throw them from a top building, from the Empire State Building, they're gonna come crashing down the same. So whether he's fat or he's muscle, at 260, if he's a fast dude and he's got the heart in him where he can throw the same fucking power and the inertia behind the shot, hey, guess what? The power's still the same whether it's fat or muscle.
That's right. That's a good point. And now let me say something because we got a lot to get to here. We're trying to we're trying to get Stu on the line. And Butch, are you there? I know you're talking to me on the Hangouts, but okay, Butch, should we? Because I know we already got a full house already, almost a full house here on the Hangout. Should we open the phone lines, or is that gonna be too much?
We can open the phone lines.
Okay, well, if you can,
Yeah.
I know it's late.
I tried to get Stu on. He's not answering. He just sent a message saying AJ is a bomb.
All right, guys, everybody in the Hangout, everybody in the chat, I want you to pray for Stu. We don't want him to end up in women's clothing in his closet with a noose around his neck. We want him to come back to the show, even though AJ lost. And let's pray for him, all right, guys? But anyway, listen, the point is this. The fucking Ruiz gives hope to all the fatties out there that yes, even if you fight a stud, even if you fight a guy who's got a bigger dick than you and can get all the women, despite your fatness and your ugliness, if you got fast hands and you can get a guy to trade with you, well,
especially if you fight in a trash division.
That's right.
Because you are a disgusting fat body.
Jay Green says, BDA, put me on the stream. I can sub for Stu. Jake, thank you for your contribution. We do have to leave a spot open for some of the other panel, some of the other regulars.
I'll jump off.
We will certainly
like
keep
5 here.
Well, hold on a second. We got to keep a certain amount of order. Oh, jeez, Luis. Okay. Virtuoso just donated as well. Shout out to Virtuoso who says, Stu just jumped off a bridge. Hey, listen. I'm happy. I'm like Apology said. Fuck these promoters for and Johnny Boy too. Fuck these promoters for over marinating this fight. It's probably gonna happen if Joshua can come back and beat Ruiz. But guess what? For the moment, it's game over. By the way,
It doesn't.
Hold on.
Go ahead.
Hold on. Reverse.
I know you're doing introduction.
Yeah. We gotta get the introduction. We got Recognize on the line.
Don't get fooled when they tell you that the crime rate is down in New York. Every time I watch the local news, they're always talking about, well, there was a stabbing here, there was a stabbing there was a shooting there, but the crime is down.
All right. Let me get to Apology first. I mean, not Apology, Reverse, because he's been here for a while too. Hold on a second. Mr. E, shout out to Mr. E, just donated via the super chat feature. He says, AJ is a poor man's Frank Bruno. You know what? That would be a disappointment, but it is certainly a possibility, and it's a sad possibility if you ask me. All right, Reverse, you want to say something?
Oh, I just wanted to say that the heavyweight division is trash.
Mm-hmm.
It has been that way for several years. I was really, you guys know I wasn't in boxing that much, but I was getting every other boxing suggestion was like Joshua Wilder, Joshua Wilder. And it's as if people didn't notice that this division was trash and that both of these guys haven't looked vulnerable in every other fight that they were involved in.
Let me tell you something. Your comment, it deserves a cheer because, yeah, it's true, man. I mean, Precise said that a couple of episodes ago when we were trying to discuss this fight. He wasn't too high on it. Now, I have to say, it would have been a very entertaining fight, the Joshua Wilder fight.
Dude, BDA, I want to say something. The heavyweight division is not trash. The only suspect that I had was fucking AJ being on top like that he was. But it was fucking chin. The only person that I suspect, Tyson Fury, Wilder's improved to the point where he's elite level with his power because of his power. He has also a chin and a higher level of endurance than AJ does. So does fucking Tyson Fury. Power wise, Tyson Fury doesn't commit. Then you got Gas.
Hold on. Hold on, guys. We got to keep some order here because I got to get to Boxing Style. Finish your comment and then I got to get to Pavel, please.
I'll finish it off with saying that Usyk is going to go in. Gassiev is going to go in to heavyweight division. Then you still got Parker there that's pretty entertaining himself. What else? You got maybe another two fighters I can't think of right now. Jared Baby Miller is not that bad. He's not great neither, but he's not that bad. It's not trash, bro. It's fucking good. It's just AJ. This was suspected. I knew Eventually, somebody's gonna do this to him because of what I saw with the Parker fight. What I saw, even with the Klitschko fight. That's why fucking Wilder wanted him so bad. Wilder wanted him so bad because of that shit. It took him like forever to recover. It took him like 4 fucking rounds to recover.
All right, now hold on a second. Before I get to that, Jay Green just donated with the super chat. Shout out to Jay Green, who says, "If you get a spot, hit me up. More posh than Stu, though. Oh boy, more posh. I don't think we can handle more. I don't think we can handle more posh." All right, so but boxing style, I gotta say, you mentioned Jarrell Big Baby Miller. Don't forget that motherfucker's a cheater, and then he has the goal. He has the goal to comment on this fight. Here's what he had to say, real quick. Okay, that wasn't the fucking proper soundbite. I'm sorry. G Boogie
That
also.
sounds like Terrence Crawford's wife.
Oh, okay. Now wait a minute. You can't. You can't do that, man. What's the matter with you? Okay. Hold on.
Yeah, I was with Baby Miller. He wouldn't have had the success that Ruiz has. Ruiz is a different type of fighter. If he got hit like the way, if he got hit the way Ruiz got hit in this fight in the second round, he would have fucking hesitated. He would have never approached. He would have fucking kept a distance.
I saw the knockout, but what round did it end in?
Okay, hold on a second. There's a lot going on right now at the same time here. G Boogie just donated. Shout out to G Boogie for his contribution, keeping the gravy train rolling. And he says, "King Majin Buu, the Mexicali assassin with the sexy gelatin body. Viva Mexico!" Indeed, Viva Mexico. Sir Lopez George. Shout out to Sir Lopez George, and he says, "What's up, ladies? In rematch, Ruiz is still the underdog." That's a good question.
Fuck no.
That's a good.
No, he's gonna get robbed in the rematch.
All right, hold on. I want to ask this question to the guy I was going to get to, Pavel, whom I haven't talked to in a long time. Pavel, are you there?
Yes, I am.
All right, fantastic.
Pavel, how's it going, Pavel?
Oh, it's going pretty good, thank you. How about yourself, guys?
Hey, fantastic. But now hold on a second. I want to talk to you. I want to talk to you.
All right.
All right. This question that I had, which this Lopez just asked in the chat room, he said, in the rematch, will Joshua be the underdog? I mean, will Ruiz still be the underdog? What do you think?
Yeah, he still will be, because I think Joshua just it was a slip by him. And by the way, this is the only fight that I deliberately decided that I don't want to watch, because I knew subconsciously the outcome, but I was wrong this time. So I'm really sad that I didn't watch live Joshua getting flattened. But I'm gonna watch a replay. Anyways, yeah, he's still going to be the favored one, Joshua. That is, because I mean, he can beat him. Just keep the distance and don't gas. Like, Jesus Christ, is that hard? I mean, put a Fury in there and he will do it. I mean, I've always considered Joshua to be a little bit overhyped. So yeah, that was just bound to happen, and it doesn't matter if it was done by some fat Mexican or out of shape Romanian. It's not a matter of if Joshua laying down, but when.
You know what? That's a very good point. I mean, I don't know if you saw this, guys, the video I did on BDA Live, where it was a mini fight analysis, and I was just rewatching it to see if I got anything right, because I don't remember jack shit of what I say sometimes. And I did say though that Joshua keeps his hands low, his right hand low. He did it against White, and he seems to not have remembered to keep that hand up in this fight, which is interesting because I mean this is a guy who's supposed to be the #1 heavyweight in the world. But then again, to his credit, to Joshua's credit, it was only when he started to trade that he got caught. You know what I mean? That's when he got careless. Now I'm not making excuses for him.
Look, do you know, or maybe another way I'll rephrase that. You know, the thing is, Joshua cannot close completely his right hand, meaning holding his hand, holding a phone, or holding your hand by the head, right? You know what I mean? He cannot do this because of the physical limitations. His biceps is too large. for him to do it. Like, look, for example, I mean, I consider, along with fading, I consider this one of the most defensive skills that a A-level fighter needs to have. That is
Absolutely.
keeping his right hand. Well, at least when he's at the distance, then put your fucking right hand up, just like Kovalev does. If Kovalev doesn't have a classical high guard. And when you look at him, he moves freely around the ring. And even though he's a A-level offensive fighter, he still keeps his defense in check by when he's going inside, right? He tends to like keep his right hand by his, at least by his chin, not tucking even by his cheek like Golovkin does all the time, but at least having some defensive responsibility, especially in the heavyweight. Jesus Christ, have some fucking self-awareness, will you? Gee, like.
That's what I
No,
said.
first
The
of all,
division is trash.
let me say something.
Yeah.
Let me address what Pavel just said. That's very. He hit it right on the nail.
The
Right on the head.
champion of the division can't
Hold
even
on.
keep his hands up.
Yeah, I know, but
Olympic
that's
champion.
exactly. That's the thing. He's first of all, I gotta read some of the comments here from the chat, from the super chat. G Boogie donated with the super chat. Shout out to G Boogie, who says he's not a fat Mexican. He's King Majin Buu, the Mexicali assassin. All right, G Boogie, thank you for that comment and for the super chat donation.
That should be
Gonzalo,
his new name, bro.
hold on a second. Gonzalo also saying, yes, Ruiz can get KO'd by Wilder, but until that point, if that happens, he gets his head boxed off, possibly KO'd with no question. Mexicali fighters are the best. This is coming from a Tijuana rival. All right, hold on a second. Hold on a second.
Hey, BDA, did you give me the green light?
Oh, for the phone call? I think it's gonna be too
Yeah.
crazy, man.
No, just do it, man.
That shit's gonna be too much.
AJ got green lighted tonight.
Oh. All right, now listen. What do you think, Bucho? You tell me, man.
Let's see what happens, man.
All right, let's open up the phone lines. We're gonna open up the portal, ladies and gentlemen. We're gonna open up the phone lines so you can
I wouldn't be
call.
surprised if Ruiz becomes undisputed.
All right, listen. We'll get back to you. All right, Boxing Style. But I want to
Andy
get.
Ruiz knocked him out. 4 rounds. The Mexican champ.
All right,
Dude,
somebody's
You guys,
Drink
stop.
one time.
Yeah, stop.
I drink one. It's my new competitor. Andy Ruiz knocked him out. 4 times.
I'm sorry.
4 times in the
guys,
ground.
guys.
Mexicali man.
By the way, don't
Andy
forget to
Ruiz. Boom.
guys,
Boom.
guys,
Gonzalo, we
guys,
can hear you.
guys,
Mexican
guys.
heavyweight
I'm gonna
champion.
mute people. I'm gonna mute people.
The 4.
Wait, where the fuck am I?
Because the Mexican.
Gonzalo,
the
turn your mic off.
I muted him. Maybe you
Yo,
guys can
hey,
still hear him,
I
but I
just
can't
gotta,
hear.
I gotta jump off, boys. I'm about to crash, dog. I'm halfway asleep over here.
All right,
But,
keep.
Later, Johnny.
Yeah,
Bye,
no,
Johnny.
I was just gonna say real quick before I jump off. Yeah, Zapata, you ain't you thought you was blocked or something, bro?
Nah, what happens is every time I try to comment, I get this fucking warning about community guidelines and shit.
What?
And it deletes my it deletes my comments like on every single.
You've been saying the wrong stuff.
Oh,
Yeah, me
well,
too.
I say whatever I goddamn well please.
No, you can't.
Well, I was just gonna say, homie, you know I ain't blocked you, bro. Yeah.
Yeah, nah, Stu threatened me the other day though. He did say, "Oh, I'm gonna fucking whatever," and my
You
shit's
know
been
what?
tripping ever since. But
You know what? That might explain why Azzy and I think Amvok, they were getting. Oh, hold on a second. John Gonzalez just contributed with the super chat. Shout out to John Gonzalez, who says Panza power, Pumba power. Yeah, Panza power means belly power.
Hey, yeah, but no, I was just gonna say before I jump off, bro. Nothing but respect for Andy Ruiz. Hats off to him. Nobody gave him a fucking shot in the world to do that shit.
That's right.
And I still don't do.
And he did it. And he's gonna whoop Anthony Joshua's fucking ass in the rematch. Watch.
All right.
But everybody
X gave him a chance.
Yeah. But
I gave
everybody
him a
have a good
chance.
night, fellas. All right. God
Later,
bless.
All right,
You
Johnny
too.
Boy.
See you. Take care,
Johnny
bro.
Boy, thank you for being on. Johnny Boy's gonna get some shut eye and go to the land of dreams. So we
Hey,
wish him
BDA,
well.
can I say something real quick so I can jump off and let somebody else on?
Fantastic. Go ahead, Zapata. The floor is yours.
Okay. So that was a really good fight, man. I was a little bit fucked up when it started. Drank a couple of beers and shit. I was a little bit fucked up, but I mean, it was a really good fight. But AJ did not look like he came to fight. He looked like he might have not juiced for this fight. So it just looks like it was I don't know, man, but Ruiz, Gonzalo said, mentioned something about those, the Inland Empire or the fucking desert boxer.
Mexicali.
Yeah, man, they're all rivals too down here in San Diego. Yeah, all that area is the same. They got the same gym, same trainers, same shit. But anyways, I've sparred with dudes from the desert, from Cathedral, Palm Springs, all that area. They're tough as shit, man. They're more hydrated than we are over here. See, because over here close to the ocean, we get comfortable, so we don't drink enough water. But those fuckers down there, they stay really good, really well hydrated. But anyways, Andy Ruiz he's a beast, man. And I said it before, Juicy J, couldn't juice with his fight. Is that data, man?
Now that's the thing. Let
It
me
is
ask.
what it is.
He
Not
looked
the
like he was
Vada,
juiced for
bro.
the fight, but he got knocked out.
Not
All right,
this
hold on,
one. He didn't
guys,
juice
guys,
for this
guys.
one.
You got to give me a chance here to read the super chats that are coming in. The great 23-ish says, "Over marinade ruins fights once again. Big up BDA. Shout out to the great 23-ish for his contribution. We'll get back to you on that, and thank you for keeping the gravy train rolling." G Boogie donates once again, and he says, "El gordeto asesino King Majin Buu pinche way." Somebody's happy. I think. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think G Boogie is really happy that that Andy Ruiz just won. But anyway, shout out to G Boogie. All right, who haven't I gotten to yet?
I want to finish it off just real quick because I'm
Oh
going to
yes.
take off and handle some stuff.
All right,
So
go ahead.
I got to train personally with Andy Ruiz. I saw him spar. I saw him in training, and he's not. I mean, a lot of people underestimate him because he is chubby, man. I mean, he looks like one of them, robalonches is what they call him. Gordito robalonches,
No way,
but
man.
no, I mean, I've seen him personally sparring. I've been in camp with him. The dude's he's you know he's a good fighter, man. All respect to him, and thanks for having me on. And I'm out, man.
But hold on, Zapata. Are you
Yeah.
as happy or less happy than G Boogie?
Well, no, I mean, I'm happy because I personally got to train with this dude, right? And I mean, I seen a lot of people discredit him or not giving him enough credit, But I mean, he pulled it off, man, and it's history right here. So I mean, it is what it is, Shout out to Andy Ruiz, pulled it off.
That's right. There you go. All right. So Zapata, thank you for joining us, and thank you for that interesting story that you actually know the guy. All right, that was Zapata
All
Boxing.
right, I'll see you guys.
All right, take it easy, man. All right, recognize. Let's get your thoughts on this fight. Surprised, shocked, actually happy that it finally puts aside all the AJ Wilder bullshit. Tell us your thoughts, please.
Yeah, I'm happy definitely that the AJ and Wilder thing goes away, at least for now. All this ridiculous talk about this being a 200 million, $100 million fight. As of right now, it's out the window. It doesn't exist. Nobody's gonna invest that kind of money on that fight.
Yes.
Okay,
Guys, I just
so
thought
right
about something.
now, right now, thank God, fuck all that. They deserve all that kind of money. Okay, for that fight. In terms of the fight, look, I haven't seen it. All I got was the comments from everybody else. And my brother, I just finished talking to my brother, and my brother's not an AJ fan. He's more of like I don't even know if he's a Wilder fan. He's just not a fan of AJ. And this is what he said. He said he looked defeated. He looked scared before the fight started. He said, I don't know what it was. He's like, this dude just looks like he knows he's not winning tonight. And
he knew that.
so without seeing the fight, well, my brother said looking at Anthony Joshua, he just looked shook.
It's true.
He looked shook. He looked shook before the bell rang. Like that's what
Yeah,
he
he
said.
had his mouthpiece out. Remember, you saw that when they were introducing him when Michael Buffer was. He had like his mouthpiece out and he was leaning on the corner. I don't know. He just looked kind of weird.
All right, hold on.
It's got to do with the speed and power, Mucho. It's the speed and power. He's shocked.
Hold on, please. Hold on, please.
Me not seeing the fight, so I can't really comment on that.
Oh, you haven't seen the fight?
Look, looking at it now, right? Without not looking at it because I didn't see the fight. I went back and I checked out the highlights. I did a video with the highlights of this kid, Andy Ruiz. Andy Ruiz, he's one of those guys that we use this term. It's called he got hands. What that means is that these dudes they just naturally combination punchers. They land with accuracy. They land effortlessly. It's like they can land a combination without like having to pay attention so much. The guy looks
Right.
like he works on that all the time, all throughout his whole career. So maybe Joshua, who looks more like a bodybuilder, just got exposed fighting a boxer. A
Right.
guy who's a real boxer. So this heavyweight division, like I said, if you take the politics out of it and you let these guys fight, all these guys at top can be beaten. They could be beaten. Maybe Tyson Fury might be a little difficult because of his height and his boxing ability, but definitely when it comes to Anthony Joshua, I've been saying it about Deontay Wilder. Deontay Wilder's another guy too. Um, these are guys that are not skilled fighters. They have certain things that help them um, that help them where they're at right now. Joshua, 6'6", 250 pounds, all muscles. That might help him get away with it with certain fighters. Um, Deontay Wilder being 6'7", and he can hit you with one punch and knock you out. What happens when they fight a boxer? Look, I believe this. Usyk, a guy like Usyk, goes in there. If there's no funny business, he wipes these guys out.
Oh.
Tyson Fury might be difficult. He might be difficult because of his height and his boxing ability, right?
Hmm.
But Wilder, Joshua, the Dillian Whites of the world, I see a guy like Usyk, Andy Ruiz, those guys being a lot of problems because those are natural boxers. They know how to box. They know how to throw combinations. They know footwork. They got a little bit of everything. They're real boxers. They're not really protected, so they have to fend for themselves.
Right.
That's
All
it.
right.
Yeah.
Mr.
Well,
BDA, can I add something when I get a chance? But
well,
let
yeah.
everybody else
Before,
speak.
yeah, before, yeah. Okay, I'll get to you first. But before we continue, I just want to announce that we have opened up the portal. The phone lines are open. We're letting all the psychos in, even though we already let a couple here on the fucking Hangouts. But the phone lines are open. You can see the phone number up there on the top of your screen in the green letters. So give us a shout out. We already have a phone call, by the way. So let's take that phone call. All right, 315, you're on the air. 315, you're on the air.
How's it going, BDA?
Yo, what's up?
315, yeah, just AKA 1-2 Kid, and I'm gonna tell you the truth.
Go ahead.
The reason why he lost that fight is because number one, he didn't have any defense, and he was admiring his work. So when he would land that big shot, then he would try to, oh, look what I did, and then he'd get caught because Ruiz had them quick hands and was countering, and he
That's
was
right.
a true boxer, like Bill was saying. And on top of that, he got stamina issues. He always had stamina issues.
Oh, shit. Hold on. I can't hear you. All right. People in the chat room also are saying if you could speak up a little bit, please, because they can't hear you very well.
Okay. Well, he got stamina issues, and I guarantee you, the LDBC, anybody in the LDBC is happier than a fag with a bag of dicks right now. So it's crazy, But me myself, I think the whole heavyweight division sucks, and I don't think they are that good. I think Tyson Fury got boxing skills, but he ain't got the pop, and that's it for that, man. If you want to talk welterweights, I'm all day, but heavyweights, man, they just suck, man.
I got you.
They just suck nowadays.
All right, hold on, because we're getting a message, an incoming message, so I don't want it to interrupt your phone call. But before we continue, G Boogie, he's in a pretty happy mood because apparently he told us he won 5K. G Boogie won 5K off of this fight, and he says, "Recognize the Matrix, talking the truth. Doesn't matter how tall you may have on Adonis' body, you may have that one-hitter quitter, but if you got that right hands for them, you can take anybody out." All right, so shout out to G Boogie agreeing with the one and only Recognize the Matrix. All right, so 315. You said
The one
Josh
and
was.
only, I like that.
1-2 Kid.
1-2 kid, yes, sorry. 1-2 kid, you mentioned Joshua's trash defense and you're not all that interested in the heavyweight division. I think a lot of people would agree with you at this point, but would you still be interested if Joshua beats Ruiz in a rematch, which is probably going to happen down the line? Would you still be interested and looking forward to the Wilder fight, or is that just kaput for you?
You know, I don't know. It might be exciting just for the shock value of one of them catching each other, but that's about it. And I don't think he probably even beats Ruiz in the second fight for the simple fact that he admires his work, and they ain't gonna train him in 6 months to be able to not admire his work.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? He's been doing it all these years, and on top of that, I mean, he's got to lose a lot of bulk in order to have the reaction time that he needs to be a fighter. Point blank, period.
There you go.
And that's what it is, man. These heavyweights just admire themselves. They're caught up in their own hype. Like, you know, him and Wilder. They're just caught up in their own hype, man. They ain't trying to get better as fighters.
Mm-hmm.
They just relying on what they do. Either one, both of them got power. I mean, if he had somewhat of a defense, it would have been an easy fight for him, but he didn't. And Ruiz has got a chin too, so he can take his shot, and there it is.
Absolutely.
So, I mean, Ruiz got a good shot of beating him again unless they pay him off. I don't know.
Yeah, that's a good point, man. It's that he's got to tighten up. Like Pavel said, you can't be a top pound-for-pound fighter if you got trash defense, and he never learned to keep that right hand up ever since the White fight. All right, listen, 1-2 kid, thank you for your call. We're going to take another one. We got another couple of calls. So thank you for calling in. Call back again next time, all right, man?
Yep.
All right, take it easy. That was 1-2 kid. All right, New York in the house. 929. You're on the air.
Good morning. This is Virtuoso. I'd like to first off by saying, shout out to the Mexicans who never lost faith. Orale. And yeah, man, history has been made. Enjoy this victory. I just want to touch on the fight. I think Joshua needs to relax, take it slow, because the way he boxes, it's like he fast and trade and has no reaction time. All that oxygen going to his muscles is going to be slow, and so he has to pump a lot of blood in order to keep his hands up.
Zalo, mute yourself.
I muted him. Yeah, go ahead, Virtuoso. Keep going. Sorry.
Yeah, I mean, it's not. This fight, should have been AJ's fight. This is his first, fight in America, and this is the performance he put up. That's just unacceptable, man. I mean, not to take any credit from Andy Ruiz. He has good hands. I really underestimated him. But AJ, to me, this whole, and this speaks to Wilder too. I'm hearing that Wilder can take punishment. He got to get no. First of all, when he fought Ortiz, and Ortiz clipped him, he looked like Bambi on thin ice, man. He could be knocked down too. Like the caller said, I guess a couple of calls ago, anyone can be beaten in this heavyweight division. You're just one punch or two punches away from the fight turning around. That's the beauty of the heavyweight division, but it's just overrated.
It is, because, I mean, these motherfuckers can't keep their hands up. He was winning the fight. Joshua was winning the fight, and he got into an exchange, and that's where he fucked up. And then, but even then...
I'm
gonna say something. I'm sorry about this video. I'm gonna say something. Bounce off.
I was on the live.
Caller, hey, what's your name, bro?
Before the upset, and I'm seeing people writing, AJ needs to say, fuck that. Fuck his niggas. He's an oxygen tank. That guy is losing wind. He's fucking wind.
Okay, hold on. Let's Boxing Style wants to add something to that. Boxing Style, go ahead.
What's your name, bro? What's the caller's name?
Virtuoso. Yeah.
Oh, is he in the thing, the chat? Sometimes I think I've seen that name before. Virtuoso.
Okay.
You have.
Yeah.
That's what you wanted to say?
Hey, buddy, bro, like the chin, Wilder can get hit, Wilder can get hurt. The difference is Wilder's recovery time is a lot, and I mean, when I say a lot, I mean a lot faster than AJ's, bro, a lot. He got hurt by Ortiz, but his recovery time was so quick. I thought Ortiz was gonna finish him. I had that fight for Ortiz. I was like, he's gonna finish him.
All right, let
Yes,
Virtuoso
Boxing
respond.
style.
Hold on,
Like you
let
get a
Virtuoso.
chance up
Hold on.
after you start making
Let
your
Wait,
point.
hold
Virtuoso
on, hold on,
respond,
hold on.
please.
So
Let
now we're taking phone
Virtuoso
calls right now.
respond.
We're taking
Yeah,
fucking phone
you'll
calls,
get
man.
your chance, bro. I'm gonna say my piece and I'm gonna leave after. So I'll hear your shit and I'll leave.
All
But
right, do
that's
it
pretty.
quickly.
No, go ahead. I'm sorry. Continue. I just whenever you're done,
Yeah,
the
Virtuoso,
phone
come
Yeah,
in.
calls and
that's. I
all.
was gonna say. That's what I'm saying. There's recovery time,
Oh
and
wow.
that's the biggest. That's another reason why I gave. If there was a fight between him and AJ, I gave him the higher edge advantage because of that. Because yeah, well, AJ can't hurt him. It's not like AJ can't. But the thing is, though, what happens when he gets back up, and you can't fucking touch him because he keeps a distance. He keeps a distance. He can hug you. He can recover, and then guess what? Now it's his turn. He hits you. What are you gonna do now?
All right,
You're fucked. You can't
let's
recover
let
that quick.
all right,
That's
let's
the
let
problem.
Virtuoso
But
respond.
Ruiz,
All right, yeah, we got it. We got it.
Let's let Virtuoso respond because we got other callers too afterwards. All right, Virtuoso, go ahead. If you want to
I mean,
reply.
look, I'm not denying, Wilder's ability to recover, but on the inside, I think AJ would have had the advantage. And that's the thing that bugs me. It's like I don't understand all this marinated shit. It's like if you have the ability to knock AJ out, right? Like you said you would. Why not take the short end of a 60-40 deal and and win the belts, and then you dictate the terms of the rematch, on the second fight. You win money on the back end of the fights, man.
Well, that's a good point. That's a good point. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cuz, can I answer that or
I mean,
that's it?
That's it. All right, we gotta move to another caller, man. So
Yeah.
Virtuoso, thank you for calling, man.
All right.
Shout out to
Take care.
Virtuoso. All right, shout out to Virtuoso. Bucho, okay, well, we're going to take more phone calls for the moment, and then we'll see what happens. All right, 631, you're on the air, 631.
Hello?
Yes, hello, 631, you're on the air.
Hi.
Dude's from Strong Island.
No, I just wanted to say a couple things. Do you guys think Joshua has regressed at all? Because I think, like, I feel like someone's taught him to keep his hands low and feint with his head a lot, and it's like he's always open for a right hand on the ropes and gets tired. And I mean, all credit to Ruiz. He was punching like Duran sometimes, but I mean, that's what I just have to say.
You want the honest answer or you want the clean answer?
I'll
give you the dirt. I'll give you the dirty, honest answer. It's the money and the pussy. That's what got him tired. The money and the pussy will do it all the time to you. The guys in this hangout can attest to that because they're all experienced people. He got too much money, too much pussy, and too much muscle. That's it.
Mr. BDA, when I get a chance, can I speak after the caller's done? I'm sorry.
I got so much pussy,
Yeah, too much pussy.
I'm a shell of myself.
So 631.
Okay.
Huh? All right,
Yeah.
Gonzalo, go ahead, and then we'll let 631 finish. All right, go ahead, Gonzalo.
Yeah, I live here in the Philippines. If I turn my aircon for a little while, it gets hot as hell. I'm going to caveat to say this. Look, they fought in New York. It's not much of a difference, I believe, being a military man and traveled where it takes 30 days to acclimatize yourself to the weather. From New York to London, whatnot. But if you're taking this side as a beat fighter and you beat this guy up, being from the Mexicali desert where it's 120 degrees, comparable to Iraq where I was stationed, where it drops like 20 degrees in the nighttime and it's cold as fuck. Okay, if you're gonna take this fight as an A side coming as a champion in Las Vegas as an immediate rematch, which is comparable to the Mexicali desert, whether you're fat or not, and you still have fast hands and can put together your punches, you're gonna, dude. There's no way in hell the guy from England is gonna beat the guy from Mexicali.
That's a good
This
point.
is I hate to harp too much on the subject,
No,
but
it's a good point.
mentioning the little fat guy, the Mexican guy, and keep talking shit on him. I'm not here to defend him because I'm a boxing fan first and foremost. But this guy, he's used to the rough weather. Like I said, you can cook an egg in the ground in Mexicali.
All right,
This guy,
631.
if they fight in the Las Vegas desert, I was stationed in Barstow
Yeah, I
for
know.
2
We get it.
years
All right,
in Las Vegas. Okay.
All right, 631.
So this guy,
you got the point.
All right, Gonzalo, we got the point. We got the point. We gotta move on, man.
631. You want to add anything to that?
No, it's just say Drew Gonzalez is a lot of times in boxing is like everybody gets so caught up in the physique and it's like it's not. I mean, it's boxing, It's like sometimes a little man can beat a bigger man. It's not anything unnatural, you know.
Mm-hmm. I tell you what, I saw a midget beat up a guy that was 6'1" once. He had a gun, but that's besides the point. 631. You wanna end the call with anything else? Because we do have other callers here.
Oh no, yeah. Nice talking to you guys. See ya.
All right, 631. Thank you for calling in. We appreciate your call, your support. Thank you for listening. Call back next time. All right, man.
Yeah, all right. BDA, do this quickly because we have a bunch of calls and we have other people in
All
the
right.
hangouts.
I don't know if this was such a good idea. We got a whole bunch of phone calls. All right.
Just do it quickly, man.
All right, 623. You're on the line. 623.
What it do? What it do?
That's right.
Hello?
Yes, you're on the air. What do you want to
You
talk
hear
about?
me?
Yes, we can hear you. What do you want to talk about?
Nah, I'm just kind of I'm pissed off because they're trying to make this Deontay Wilder's moment in American media. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You got these Stephen A. Smith, all these dudes making fun of Andy Ruiz and like trying to make it seem like it was Deontay Wilder's moment and shit, and it's really pissing me off. You know?
What are they saying? Can you paraphrase?
Oh, they're saying because Deontay Ruiz, Joshua was scared of Wilder and shit, and that's why that happened.
Well, we sort of
trying to make it his moment.
Yeah, we sort of expected that to happen. I mean, these are the same people that were making excuses for Wilder when he announced the Ortiz fight, saying, well, it's because he wants to get more money, more parity once they go back to the negotiating table. Instead of forgetting that they were the ones that were saying that Wilder was avoiding Joshua. And then when it finally comes out that, yes, it's true, he is avoiding it, they try to twist it around, and it's a financial strategy. Listen, they were gonna twist it around no matter what. But to be fair, Joshua's team were probably gonna try to twist it around if they were in their same shoes as well.
Yeah, but you know, like
same thing happened with Pacquiao.
They keep making fun of Ruiz and shit, you know, and then putting Deontay Wilder's name there, like if it's his moment. I'm not a big fan of that shit because he didn't have the balls to do what Ruiz did tonight. That's a fact.
Ruiz, that's a fucking good point, man. That is a very good point. Ruiz stepped in there 1 month and a half.
He was bitching about money. He didn't take that moment that fucking Ruiz did. You know
That's a great point. 623. 623, we got other phone calls. Anything else you want to say before we go? You want to say fuck you?
Say, man. No, that's it, man.
You don't want to say fuck you to anybody in boxing or anything?
Yeah, fuck Deontay Wilder. And
All right. 623. Thanks for the call. Let's go move over to 209. 209, you're on the air.
Oh, this is Nopal from Stockton, California.
Who?
Nopal.
Nopal.
From Stockton, California.
Yeah, the guy who can follow instructions, man.
The guy who
I told you 50 times, don't call on Hangouts, and you still fucking call, man.
I know, but
like a fucking retard, man.
I didn't know it was like that. That's kind of like I fucked up. Sorry about that.
You don't want to fuck up around here, man.
Put it? I mean,
all right. Well,
he just needs the Spanish version of Hangouts.
That I messed up.
All right. Well, you're here now.
Let me just tell everybody, and this message is mostly for Stu. Last time I bet on Canelo. Last time I bet 10 grand on Canelo and I made 15,000. And I bought a Rollie that time. This time I got enough of a down payment to get a Yachtmaster. And let me just let the whole panel know that we got into a little situation, me and Stu, last time. And then he said, you put your Mexican ATGs against the British ATGs, and you ain't even got a heavyweight. Well, we got a heavyweight right now. So that's all I got to say now. I mean, we got a heavyweight. We got Luis Denny. We got Canelo Alvarez. I mean, how much people do we get? And just to let everybody know, it ain't about what you got versus what we got. It ain't even about that.
It's not.
It's just, you know what I'm saying? It's about watching boxing.
Sure doesn't sound that way.
You know, well, I'm just, you know, I still have to protect my people at the same time. If you're going to keep it racial.
Yeah, you're right. We got to protect the Mexican people from that big. We got to protect the Mexican people from that British invasion of Mexico that's taking place. We got to.
That's not what I said.
I'm kidding. I'm pulling your chain. I'm pulling your chain a little bit.
It's all about watching boxing.
All right.
You took it to the racial level and said
that's
that.
Right.
So, and then when I told him that we had Canelo, he had to put me on timeout. So, whatever. All right, guys. Thank you. And between me and you, Bucho, sorry about that. Whatever, shit happens. You know that. You're not a spring chicken, so let's not cry about it. All right.
You're no spring chicken.
All right,
What does
good
that
night,
mean?
fellas.
I
What does
don't
that
know what
mean?
he's saying, man.
It's
Shout
an
out.
expression that we use in the U.S. Since you guys
All
are in
right,
Canada,
all
I
right,
wouldn't.
all right.
All
Nopal,
right,
thank you. All right, thank you for calling
you
in,
can't follow
Nopal.
instructions.
All right, thank you for calling in, Nopal. We got
Sh-
917. You're on the
Can I
line.
say something real quick?
Oh shit! Hold on a second. Hold on.
Hello?
Yes, so, Pavel, we'll get to you after this call. Okay, 917. You're on the air.
Sure.
917.
It's
You're on the
X,
air.
my nigga.
Yes.
I said it's X.
Oh, it's X.
Yes.
X.
I'm here to gloat and laugh.
Are you in? Are you in New York right now? Because I can barely hear you. Sounds like you're in the
I'm
streets
in
or
New
something.
York.
All right.
I'm
All
in
right.
New York. I'm in the garden. I'm by the garden. I'm taking over, recognizing the spot. You know what I'm saying?
That's
It's
right.
my time.
Well, you know what, X? Recognize couldn't even get the prediction even close. You obviously picked Wilder, right?
Well, listen, man, I ain't, Wilder didn't fight it, but it was the same thing would have happened. Wilder would have finished it in the first round.
I know,
You guys
no, but
laugh now, but I told you.
That-
Go ahead, brother.
no. Go ahead. Sorry.
I told you that there was no way this stripper, okay, 'cause that's what he is. They got him from a strip club. Eddie Hearn got him from a strip club. Okay, there was no way he's a real boxer. There was no way he's going to beat Deontay Wilder. This is Deontay Wilder's moment. Fuck that
That's right.
other Mexican.
Well, you know what? He definitely showed the stamina of a stripper. This fucking guy. Really, he couldn't even go 4 rounds before gassing out. Did you expect that, X?
Yes. You notice that I'm not surprised. There's nothing surprising about me. I tell people the truth. I told you, he's a bum.
You know what? I thought All right. I thought strippers were gonna have good stamina because they're always moving around and fucking old ladies, but apparently that's not the case. X, real quick, because we have other calls.
No, listen, this guy just had... Look, man, this guy was a hype down from the beginning, okay? He's a bum. Just like Recognize is a bum.
All right. All right. Recognize. All right. Let's recognize. We gotta let him reply. Recognize. Are you there on the hangout still?
Yes, I was just going to tell X, since you got a lot of time, why don't you just go fuck yourself?
No. It's all right. You got interrupted. You got
You can say what you want to say, but it's my moment right now. It's my moment. Right?
It's his moment now, yeah.
My people are gonna be around and make sure. I told Anthony Joshua and his goddamn fans, don't come to New York. Okay?
All right.
Do not come to New York. We're gonna make sure everything is fair.
All right, X.
And you
We
gonna
got
lose.
X. We got
Baby Miller was gonna beat him.
we got other callers. Is there anything else you want to say before we let you go?
Yes. Fuck AJ and fucking fans. That's all I want to say.
All right. That was 100% X, everybody.
Shout out to my man. Wait. And shout out to my man Gonzalo and all the Mexicanos.
That's right.
I'm here to tell it like it is.
All right, that was
Yo, here's the story, my man. We got to get a message out about brothers working for these white devils and not getting paid what they deserve.
All right. That was 100% X. Shout out to 100%. Recognize.
I'm out.
All right, see ya, X. Recognize X doesn't like you. All right, real quick, before we get to the next call, Pavel, you want to say something?
Yeah, to the previous call, no, well, not to X, but the one before X. Yeah, well, shout out for you to winning a bet, put on a fight with a classic, bogus, shady ass outcome. So keep that side hustle going on, brother.
Keep that side hustle going. All right, so that was Pavel chiming in. I just want to remind people that the views expressed by the panelists are not exactly the views that intended from the BDA board of directors.
That's
All right.
correct.
That's correct. Thank you for clarifying that. 805, you're on the air. 805.
Hey, BDA, it's Mike Stott. What's happening?
Mike, thank you for calling in, man. What's going on?
You and I already know what we're thinking, right? You know what I'm thinking, right, BDA?
I think I do, but why don't you tell me just to make sure?
I mean, yeah. I mean, the panel probably doesn't, but we both know, BDA, that AJ came to New York and he was having all these orgies and sex with all these chicks in New York, and it drained his ass, and he had no energy for the damn fight because he's fucking all these girls in New York and having orgy sex parties, you know?
Yeah, you know what? it's. I was half kidding, but it would not surprise me if indeed there was a lot of fucking going on in New York. I mean, recognize he could probably tell you all the fucking clubs that there are out there where you can easily get some ass.
And there's some nice ones, man. Top notch little prime little, coochie out there.
That's right. Oh, hold on a second. Before we continue, shout out to Box88, who says, hold on, I'm trying to read the comment here. He says, AJ looked like a lost, panicked kid in his corner after the third. He also seemed very insecure. He was desperate, looking for answers from his corner. Yeah, absolutely, man. He was asking his corner, what did I get hit with? He couldn't even realize that it was a left hook. I mean, this guy was out of it. Michael, so shout out to Box88 for the contribution. So, no, but Michael, really, I mean, you have a little experience boxing. Is it surprising to you that a guy like AJ can't stay tight while exchanging punches?
He looks kind of uncoordinated, but he is a big, lanky guy. Like, he's tall and stuff, and I mean, he just probably doesn't have the coordination for it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's probably it, man. I mean, he's screwed up.
He's probably just strong, but he doesn't know how to use it.
Well, who was it? Somebody in the panel said that. Oh, by the way, I gotta get to precise. But somebody in the panel said that it's all that muscle, and I've said it before here. The story about the guy who
I said it.
It's
true.
Yeah.
It's true.
That muscles is not good, bro. That's not good for boxing.
It fucks your coordination up.
Yeah, look at Frank Bruno. I remember Frank Bruno, how muscled up he was. He was tight, bro. He was a tight dude.
It was grotesque watching him.
Grotesque.
Bruno, right?
That's a good word. That's a good word for that. All right.
He looked like a freak, and that's like really accurate term. But go ahead.
Yes, it is actually. That's why I was laughing, because it's very apropos. All right, before we continue with Michael, we got Precise on the line.
Dependent upon how you interpret the data.
What's up with all the transvestites in Hollywood, though?
Because if you're a postmodernist and you don't have any standards, you're always going to keep moving the goalpost, and you're never going to stick to your own standards because you don't have any standards.
All right. Precise, are you there?
Yes. What's up?
All right, fantastic. Listen, I'm curious to get your thoughts on this whole shenanigans, this malarkey that just went on. But I just want to end with Michael here. Michael, are you still there?
Yeah, I'm here.
All right. So just real quick, just to get your opinion, AJ Wilder, is it still a salvageable fight, provided that Joshua comes in and beats Ruiz, even if he doesn't do it impressively? Is that fight still on the table, the Wilder AJ fight?
I bet you that AJ's still up for it. I think Eddie Hearn's probably still up for it, but I bet you now Wilder will probably even delay that or even dodge that even more now. Possibly, I don't know. Maybe he might feel confident he can beat him now. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Wilder now feels confident that he can land that one shot and get the stripper out of there, as 100% X would say.
Oh, I want to say, did you guys see Big Baby Miller's post-fight reaction?
No. What did he say? How did he react?
He's just staring at the camera, looking like he's about to cry for like 5 minutes, and he doesn't say a word. He's just sitting there at the camera, rubbing his face.
Well, listen, he screwed up, man. Fuck him. He should have. He's a rat.
Fucking rat, anyway. His whole family's all rats. Would have grew up to be a rat.
Or he's a pig, rather. It's his fault. Well, I'll check that out. Is it on Instagram or where is it?
I saw it on Facebook, and like people were sharing it in the groups, but I don't know where it originally came from. But it's just him like looking like, man, that would have been my belt. So you can tell that's what he's thinking, you know.
Oh well, screw him. All right, Michael. Anything else you want to say before we go?
I bet you Ruiz would kick his ass. That's what I think.
You mean Ruiz Miller?
Ruiz would probably beat Miller, I think.
Yeah, probably. Would surprise me, man. Michael, thank you for calling in. Anything else you want to say before we go?
One last thing. I bet money, AJ probably had sex with somebody that Rec probably fucking ran through over there in New York. So they got that going for each other.
Wouldn't surprise me. Would surprise me if it's like the 6
I got so
degrees.
many under my belt that could be one little flower that he met that
All right. All right. So Michael, thank you for calling in. Call in the next show, all right, man?
Awesome. Thank you for having me, man.
All right. Thanks a lot, man. All right. So he's giving us that update. Apparently, Baby Miller was oinking and crying when he saw his payday go out the window. All right. Get Precise on the line. I want to get to him real quick. Precise, are you there?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Thank you for being on. Sorry for making you wait, man. It's just we have a lot.
Oh,
Very
it's all
hectic.
good, man. It's no problem.
All right, it's 1 a.m. over here in Canada. I was about to go to sleep before the fight, but then this happened, so we had to do the show. Precise, I know you said before, months ago, you did the Wilder Joshua fight and the heavyweight division as a whole just wasn't all that interesting to you. Is it a little bit more interesting now, or does it just prove what you said before?
That question, I think I might have to sleep on and answer tomorrow. I don't really care about this division, to be honest with you. But first and foremost, congratulations to Mr. Ruiz. I still think he should lose some weight if he wants to hold on to those titles. But man, I mean, he showed he had a fucking chin and he came to win. And he fought a bum. I'm sorry. Whatever the reason is for why Anthony Joshua fought like a bum, but he fought like a bum. I don't feel like speculating why that was. I know what I saw, and I saw a bum. And was he nervous? Yeah, perhaps. He looked very nervous. Is he spoiled by the riches? Probably. Why did he give Andy Ruiz his titles before the fight ever started? I'll let the chat room decide that one. I'm not convinced by what I saw. But congratulations to Ruiz. He proved a lot of people wrong, and he fucking came to win, and he showed a tremendous chin. Because after AJ knocked him down, he took 5 more shots from him and knocked his ass down. So I'm shocked. I'm speechless. I mean, it was a great moment for boxing, and shit, I really don't have much more to say. But AJ wasn't himself, or maybe Ruiz in the situation exposed AJ for what he is, a protected hometown fighter that really, I've said it before. I got, I thought Andy Ruiz beat Parker, and I also thought Parker beat AJ, and I thought AJ got a gift against um, Klitschko. So I was never sold. I was never sold on AJ, but I for damn sure wasn't sold on Andy Ruiz either. So it is what it is, man. I'm shocked, and I'm very, very happy for him. And I would love if AJ or Wilder, or hopefully both of them, just fucking went away and left boxing, but that's not going to happen. So,
Nah.
oh well.
There's still too much money to be made for that potential Wilder Joshua fight. If all Joshua has to do, remember, we have fickle minds as boxing fans. All Joshua has to do is come back, get a win, look impressive in one of those his next tune-up fights, and bam, he's right back in contention for that Wilder payday, that multi-million-dollar fight. By the way, I wanted to check the what's it called, the British streams, to see what people were saying about this. But I mean, I don't think we have time to do that because I want to let some of you guys talk because we were taking phone calls. So, Gonzalo, I know you wanted to say something. Is there anything you wanted to add to what Precise just said? Or anybody else then? Anybody else? Or else I'll go and say something.
About AJ?
Well, about what Precise
Yeah,
said.
hello. Yeah,
Oh,
I'm
shit.
trying to work with my here with my super chat. I'm a little bit of a hard time, but
About AJ?
hello.
Yeah, he's got to turn off his computer or whatever.
Yeah, you got to turn off your
the
speakers there,
background.
Gonzalo. We can hear the feedback.
About AJ?
You have to mute the speakers.
You have to mute the
when
speakers, Gonzalo.
Go ahead,
It's like a
recognize. I'll get after you.
No, okay. To again, not having seen the fight, I just saw a little highlight of my brother. My brother just sent me a text showing me. I guess he recorded the knockdown of AJ. Look, I haven't seen the fight, so what I would say is that there's a big possibility that this is a guy who needs everything to go his way. Fight in his backyard. He's not comfortable going to another city where he's not from, and he may like New York because New York is a very likable town or whatever, and just wasn't in his element. I mean, he was, dude. He. There's a good chance this guy's just a bum. That's it. There's a really good chance that that's what he is. He's just a muscled up guy that can get through. Okay, he can get through. He has a lot of muscles. You punch him, you know, some you punch him in the body, he can hold that. But the only thing that he can't hold is chin shots, right? And he doesn't look like a boxer, right? Like when I point at a boxer, I mean, if you had to choose like between him and Wilder and say who's the boxer to you, I would point at Wilder.
Yeah.
Right. If I didn't know anything, if I didn't know who these guys were, I would say yeah. I think Wilder looks more like a boxer, a heavyweight fighter. AJ looks like a guy who's competing for a bodybuilding contest, and he's got the big arms. You know, I'm willing to bet that he's got over 20 inches in arm, like his biceps. I mean, that's
Like me.
That's not good. Huh?
Like me.
Yeah, like you.
Yeah.
Exactly. I was thinking about it. That's exactly what I was thinking about. How built you are.
All right, sorry. Go ahead. Sorry.
And so, you know, his arms are not. They just you got to have some. You can't be too tight on your biceps and your forearms and stuff like that, and your shoulders. You got to have those. You got to have those be elusive and also to protect yourself. Not only to throw punches, to protect yourself, block shots. And again, without seeing the fight, man. You kind of saw this coming. I didn't think Andy Ruiz obviously was going to be the one that beat him, but you know it's better now than later. Maybe he can learn from this, and I think Usyk is. I think it's looking good. I think Usyk beats all these dudes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Can I say something after
Fury,
Recognize is done?
The
Go ahead.
exception, I think
Continue.
Fury. Hold on, just one more thing. It's Gonzalo. I think Fury might be the one that might be because of his height and his boxing ability. Go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead, Gonzalo. Gonzalo, he's done. Go ahead.
Okay, this is what I have to say. Credit to Eddie Hearn for taking a gamble on a replacement fighter, doing a cross promotion, having to pick from a pool of like 5 fighters, and he picked the guy that was coming off a 15-week training camp, beating Alex Dimitrenko, a guy similar in size to AJ. And the Mexican, you know, like I alluded to the fact that he's from Mexicali, tough amateur fighter, undefeated. You know, questionable loss to Parker. Okay, much credit to Andy Ruiz. Okay, and a little bit of lack of experience, but given the fact that he's doing the zone, maybe not so wise. He picked Ruiz. He lost, and the Mexican won. Okay, now the champion. He's unified. He has 3 or 4 belts, and Andy Ruiz. He just signed to the PBC. Okay, that's where Wilder's co-promotion company he belongs to. Now, who's the face of boxing now? Is it the WBC champ or the WBA, WBO, or the IBF champion? And Andy Ruiz, which is a Mexican, which can be a household name, and for being the 3rd Mexican heavyweight to attempt the attempt of championship for the 2nd time, but this time to win it in the home soil in New York. Are the Mexicans going to pay for a pay-per-view now that these guys are going to this module? Would say they wouldn't, but nonetheless they are to sell out a fight. Who is the paper guy? Who is the champion? Correction. And Andy Ruiz versus Wilder, in-house fight. You know, could potentially make a lot of money, and the Mexicans being a large contributor to that. Not to speak so much about am I a fan or not, but that's just the way it is. People will pay for this. So don't people think Wilder is such a popular fighter that he's here to take over. The money speaks, okay? Even the WBC can see the writing on the wall. They're Mexicans, but they're Jews. And don't you think they see Ruiz as being like somebody they could cash in on? Basically, that's it. I'm not speaking for myself, but as far as where the money trail goes.
Well, I mean, if you look at the symbolic sign of him winning, right, and if you understand what's going on in politics in the world today, especially in America, fucking Ruiz is a good sell. You know what I'm saying? So he's Mexican. He went from like the ultimate underdog and just won 3 belts. 4 belts, whatever. Right, so he's a great story. You could sell him. I didn't think about that, him being with Al Heyman. Interesting. I'm not too sure you might get a rematch.
This is an in-house fight. It could very well save the PBC.
Gonzalo, here's what I was going to say. Don't be surprised, Gonzalo. Somehow, some way.
In-house fight, the Mexican buy the $74, $100 pay-per-view. Don't have to spend the money with Matchroom anymore.
But why are we even talking about this when he has a rematch with Joshua that he probably won't win?
That's what I'm saying. Like, don't be surprised if that rematch takes a little step aside. And you know.
I'll tell you why. Because I believe that Ruiz is the A side now. If it's not stipulated in the rematch clause, he will get the privilege of fighting in Las Vegas, and that's a very hot, even in the nighttime. You know,
Gonzalo,
he's from Mexicali, man.
Look,
That's
Gonzalo,
my biggest point of
nobody believed Ruiz. You did. You deserve props for them, sure. But I think you're getting a little bit ahead of yourself, man. Ruiz is not
it's not
A
about
side.
me. It's not about me, precise. I just think the weather benefits him. The weather in Las Vegas, if he gets a rematch
If it's in Las Vegas, so that's if it's in Las Vegas.
Yeah.
And weather had nothing to do with it today because New York is very similar.
No, he fought a bum, bro. He fought a bum in that ring.
It sounds like
AJ was walking into punches. Like, it's just
something was wrong with the man.
Precise,
Yes,
there was definitely something wrong with him, and maybe it was the occasion, and maybe it was Ruiz because he showed him something that he's never seen before. I don't know.
My brother said the same thing you said. He said he fought like he looked like a bum in that ring.
Yeah.
He said it just like that. He said Ruiz. He said, I don't know if Ruiz is that good or this dude. He's no match for a dude that can box. Like he can actually box.
Look, man, this division is overhyped as hell. Have we ever? Ruiz is a good fighter. I don't mean to shit on the guy. Like, I respect him. He proved me wrong. No doubt about it. This is his moment. But have we ever seen a unified heavyweight champion? And no, looks aren't everything, but they are important because it reveals that you don't dedicate yourself. Your diet ain't right. You're not working out as hard as you should be. You're not living up to your full potential. So as good as you think he is, he's not anything special we've never seen before. And this is the unified heavyweight champion who doesn't even dedicate himself. If you study his history and if you listen to what his family and Abel Sanchez had to say about the guy, he's a lazy ass motherfucker. And he's the unified heavyweight champion of the world. Congratulations, he deserves it. But this division is piss poor. It's a fucking joke, man. This division that it gets this much attention, and these guys they're all bums, man. They're all bums. I'm sorry.
Yeah, think about it. The marketing aspect. Don't forget about the whole marketing aspect of Joshua's career, especially. I mean, since his amateur career and his bogus decision in his hometown Olympics is just ridiculous. I mean, the train has to roll for some time, but I mean, sooner or later it's going to stop, and it has crashed with a fat guy. You know, a guy who shouldn't be carried that much of a fat. I mean, dude,
guys,
hold yourself up to a standard. Can I?
That the speed,
hold on.
even
Gonzalo.
Let Pablo finish.
Bucho, go ahead. Okay.
Pavel wasn't done. Go ahead, Pavel.
Yeah, and it's like, I mean, hold yourself up to a certain standard, right? You're supposed to represent something. If all the media is focusing attention at you and pussy is throwing itself at you just by default because of your fame and how you're portrayed in the media in the country. So you should be focused all your attention to the training because you chose this fucking lifestyle. That's the price you pay for being a champion. You should fucking train all the time and don't underestimate opponents like Andy Ruiz Jr., who shouldn't be fat like that. First of all, and yeah, I mean that was his mistake. So, you paid the toll, bitch.
I want to say that's a very good point. But before the thing I want to get into here is whether there was some form of whether Joshua didn't train or whatever. Let's face the facts. Also, the whole trouble started after he dropped Ruiz when he started trading with him, and he dropped that right hand and he got caught just like he did against Dylan White. Except this time, Ruiz, the fatso, was able to get him out of there, and Joshua couldn't survive. So I don't think it's necessarily a question of whether he undertrained or whatever, because even against Klitschko, he was running out of steam before he got his second win. And this one, he never got to it, and he pretty much quit in this fight by looking at his corner, not responding to the referee. But you gotta give Ruiz some credit. The guy caught him with that left hook,
Oh, of
and
course, bro. I mean,
Of
look,
course, I
you
do.
gotta give him. You gotta give him credit because I don't know if it was the earlier show, Bucho, or another show before that. I'm not. I don't remember. But I remember we were talking, and someone on the panel said, "Do you think like Wilder just? I mean, not Wilder. Joshua just disrespects him, goes in for the kill?" I said, "I don't think he should because the kid got hands. Like, no, I don't think he should." I said, "If he fights the way I think he should fight, use the jab, um, try to work off of that, he probably beats him." But I said he should not disrespect him and go for the kill on this guy because he got fast hands. Dudes with fast hands can catch you with something you don't see coming. Um, when you're not coming in, imagine when you're coming in, they're gonna definitely catch you with some shit. So, look, this is just a classic case. I think this is a cherry pick gone wrong. This is. They looked at Ruiz and they said, "Man, this is a cherry pick. I think we got this." Um, and when it came time to fight, the dude probably realized, "Yo, I think I'm in some shit tonight."
absolutely, a very good point. It was the walking in.
Right, and what that means is like, look, I'm not used to fighting out of my turf. Right? It's not like Ruiz, New York is his turf. I'm not saying that because he's from California, I believe. And it's America, but it's not necessarily his home turf. But for certain guys, man, and I've seen this in fighting and boxing, and there's certain guys they don't feel comfortable fighting on equal grounds. They freeze up because they're not that good. They're not that good. That's the reason
Yeah,
why they freeze up.
experience. Look,
Yeah.
'cause some people in the chat are saying that Ruiz was countering him. Yeah, he did get to a point where he was countering him. But look, what was AJ's reach advantage? 8 inches or something crazy like that. If you throw a jab and you're taller, and you change the angle after you throw the jab, there's no way a guy like Andy Ruiz could counter you. It's
Mm-hmm.
impossible. It's physically impossible for that
Yeah,
to
That's a good
happen.
point.
You have to not know how to control distance and
that's basic
have
shit.
no jab, period. Yeah. People are saying he was countering him. Yes, he was. But he shouldn't be able to counter him, period. Who was countering? Have you ever seen any fat little guys with fast hands countering Klitschko? Klitschko's jab?
I was gonna
Never.
say that. I was
And,
gonna
and and
say
one
that.
last thing,
I
one
was
last
gonna
thing
bring that.
about this. For all those people who sat there and talked about how boring Klitschko was, Anthony Joshua isn't a quarter as exciting as Vladimir Klitschko. And the only thing that
Okay,
makes him
well,
exciting is because he gets knocked the fuck down. That's the only thing that makes him exciting.
I was up. I
I
was agreeing.
exaggerate, but
Yeah,
you
I
get the
was
point.
agreeing with you up until you said that the Klitschko's were entertaining. But it's true though. Vladimir was outboxing Joshua in their fight, no doubt about it. I have a hard time seeing Ruiz knocking Klitschko out. Now we know Klitschko was afraid of getting hit. He didn't react well to the punches, but pound for pound, Vladimir, the guy that was outboxing all the shorter guys, I don't see him having too much problem with Ruiz. And Vitali, forget about it. He does the same thing to Ruiz, which he did to Arreola. That's just my opinion. I could be
Yeah.
wrong. Uh, Gonzalo, you
It
would
was
say
it was embarrassing. A good performance by Ruiz, but it was an embarrassment. Guys, I didn't come on right off the bat because I watched the fight two more times. Take the time to watch the fight. You're gonna be shocked at how, if you already aren't, at how poor AJ looked in this fight.
I
Yeah.
don't.
Yeah.
I agree. And yeah, go ahead, Gonzalo. I've already spoken.
No, go. Okay, just some real quick. I hate keep harping up on the same thing, but somebody help me if I'm kind of confused. Okay, the guy's fast. He started to put on pressure early, and whether he's fat or it's got muscle, 20 pounds heavier at a shorter frame, more compact, whether it's water weight or not. If he's gonna put fast hands at the speed of the rate when he punches, just physics and all. I'm not the smartest guy out there. I'm basically what I'm trying to say. Help me precise. The speed plus the mass is gonna give you punching power, whether it's fat or not, right? Am I confused?
No, you're
No,
right. You're
no,
right.
your fat's not gonna give you punching. Fat doesn't give anybody punching power.
No, the
Muscle,
speed.
It slows you down.
of course it
Yeah,
does. You gotta move all that inertia. So it makes you
But
Yeah,
he's
slower
fast.
and
He's
less
got
powerful.
fast hands, right? And it's
But the
starting
point I'm
early.
right, but the point I'm trying to make, if he loses those 20 pounds, he could be unstoppable. That's what I'm saying.
Gonzalo, I'll tell you why the fat is a hindrance, especially in the heavyweight division for a guy like Andy Ruiz. Um, Proportionally, heavyweights have much bigger everything except of the head regarding the human body, and the wrists as well. The wrists don't grow as much as in the heavyweights. Compare a human freak like Pacquiao's wrist, right? He has huge.
Yeah, I shook his hand
Uh,
before. I know his hand is size exactly bigger than mine.
Exactly.
Nope.
So, and some heavyweights have even smaller wrists than him. I've seen some guy in my boxing gym that was really lanky, like kind of big white Tommy Hearns. But anyways, the reason why the fat is hindrance is because when you carry all that fat, your connective tissue in your wrist, close to your metacarpal bones in your hands, isn't able to hold, to carry, especially when it's thrown at high speed, isn't able to hold the joint stable together, the wrists aligned, the hand aligned with the forearm. So you're prone to injury more if you don't carry that fat. And yeah, I agree. Speed with with mass equals power, but the other thing, the more healthy way and more correct way, I suppose, would be Andy Ruiz dropping all that fat and that's it basically, and throw correct technically punches. That's the best thing he can do, because and he won't lose anything, he won't lose any power with that, because the speed is going to even improve without all this hindrance, and he will be able to be much more explosive, I suppose, than he is right now.
Yeah.
It's no advantage to be overweight. It doesn't
Exactly.
help you in any
It's
way,
not
shape, or
good.
form.
Yeah. It's not good. Look, even
Okay,
It's the
I
same
believe.
just
in
yourself.
in a way. In a way, it's the same like AJ. He's too heavy too, in a way, right? It's different kind of weight, but it's too much muscle isn't good either. Too much weight. You don't
Yeah.
want to be as heavy as possible. You got to be heavy enough. I mean,
Okay,
270. Come on, man.
yeah, precise. I kind of like the more question that I was kind of intrigued about are were the big heavyweights here to take over the 6'5" and above guys, or were the smaller guys? Even though Ruiz was heavier, but I'm talking about dimension wise. Did
Dude,
they
they're
ever
all
not
hype
stand a chance in
jobs.
this era, or was that just like an
They're a bunch
illusion?
of hype
Because
jobs, man. They're all overrated, including Tyson Fury, who fights like a fucking pussy. AJ fought like a
Oh,
pussy. These guys are so fucking overrated. It's crazy. I'm sorry. It's just what it is.
The reason why they became like sort of the heavyweight division became this crop of heavyweights became like a thing is because we as boxing fans made it a thing. And I'm not saying us in the panel or whatever, because I've certainly tried. We've all been certainly guilty of trying to talk about AJ and Wilder and an opportunity, and then sometimes we're like, look, we're tired of hearing this shit. Like, it's nothing to talk. It's just boring to talk about. These guys are like not, dude. Vladimir Klitschko and Vitaly Klitschko would walk through this heavyweight crowd. They would, man. It's not hating or anything. It's just they would have, man. They would have wiped these guys out. Vitaly Klitschko, 100% for sure, beats
Because they
these
were
guys.
skilled. They
Exactly,
were
they were
utilized.
skilled.
You know what? I'll interject you for a second. They kept in mind just one thing, and they were successful because of it. They were focused on their natural advantage, being big guys. They knew how to utilize
Exactly.
their range. They were experts at that. But go ahead.
Yeah, but you see, Van Media, you said that Vlad was a bum too. He got stopped by bums. What you gotta understand, that happened early when he was having stamina issues. It wasn't his boxing skills. His boxing skills were good. He didn't understand range. He didn't understand how to pace himself. But once all that came together, once he became a complete fighter, that changed. Okay, that changed, and he was able to go through that run. Do you want to say the guys were bums? Fine, you could go at it and say the guys were bums, but his technique and the way he approached his fighting, his punching techniques and all that were proper, were better, much better than Anthony Joshua. this kid Wilder, and to a large extent, in terms of power, better than Tyson Fury. These guys would have beat these dudes easy. I get it. Like, he lost the bums when he was younger. I think it was conditioning problems. I think it was him not understanding range, him not understanding what he's not capable of doing, as in compare what he's capable of doing. But once it all came together, he went on that long title run, and that doesn't happen by accident. You don't see Anthony Joshua on a long title run, right? That's over with. He got stopped. Wilder, he's got 9 title defenses against a guy. Remember, he got a belt from a bum. Okay, a dude who was not even a legit champion. Okay, that's who he got the belt from, and he's been fighting bums since he's been the champion. The only legit fighter that he fought, okay, I'll throw in Ortiz in there, who's mad, who was fucking probably 50 years old, and Tyson Fury, who outboxed him. Not the greatest fighter, but outboxed him.
Recognize
Barely.
there's some
Barely
weird
outboxed.
there's some weird rubbing noise coming from your end. I think it's because you're trashing around when you're talking. That's what maybe there's some, like, it's like the wires are rubbing or something from your
Yeah, I think
earphones.
that's what's happening.
But I just wanted to say something real quick here. It's you look at a couple of years ago, it was Vladimir Klitschko and Vitaly who were running the heavyweight division. Before that, it was Lennox Lewis. Before that, Mike Tyson for a little while. Before that, you had Larry Holmes. Before that, you had Ali, and so on and so forth. This generation right now, I mean, Wilder, people are going to say now that Wilder is the best heavyweight in the world, but what defenses has he racked up that you could say he's the most competent heavyweight? Because he got outboxed by
Ruiz
Tyson
is
Fury.
the best heavyweight. I mean, how can anybody say anything else? Like,
Exactly.
that's just dishonest. You
But
have
then
to
again-
give it to Ruiz.
But then again, how good is Luis? You get what I'm saying? It's like, where's the Vladimir Klitschko of this generation?
They're all
Where's the
bums,
Lennox
bro.
Lewis?
That's what I'm saying. And
Exactly.
then there's people in the chat room rewriting history right now. Let me tell you something. Now, if you think throwing 50 jabs around is boring, fine. Which is what Klitschko was, and maybe 3 right hands and maybe a left hook every other round. Fine. If you think that's boring, that's fine. Tell me, how exciting is it to watch a guy throw 4, 5 jabs around and maybe 1 or 2 power punches? That's actually more exciting. These people are just out of their fucking minds. Anthony Joshua is a boring fighter. Get over it. Boring. What did he do? He got in the ring with a tubby guy. He had a huge reach advantage, and he didn't throw any punches.
No, he did. Yeah, it's
Look
true.
at the
man.
Parker fight.
Exactly. He didn't throw any punches. Anytime he gets in the ring with somebody good, like, they got to be beating his ass for him to be exciting. That's when the fight gets exciting, is when they're beating his ass. Look at the Klitschko fight. How boring was that?
Yeah.
That was a boring fight.
The Cam too was more or less boring because he couldn't really get a read on the guy. The Cam was rolling with the punches very well, and it took the referee to step in and give him that gift stoppage.
I'm
at
not.
the
Look,
end.
I'm not trying to say that Vlad was some kind of super exciting fighter. Okay, if you like boxing, if you understand boxing, you appreciated what that man did in the ring. Okay, Joshua doesn't have that, and he throws fewer punches. So if Vlad was boring, what do you say about Joshua? I'm sick and tired of all the fucking nonsense about this heavyweight division being amazing, and it's just a joke.
Well, Precise, that's that's the media in a way doing that whole thing. They saw the money that they could make on the Wilder Joshua fight, and that's why they were overhyping this. But now it comes out. That's the thing, guys. Don't let these fights over marinate. They could have, and now Wilder.
Exactly, bro.
But Wilder has to be kicking himself in the head because I've always thought, well, not always, but for a long time I thought, if he can land that right hand, okay, maybe he doesn't put Joshua out cold. I don't think anybody has that type of power where you can just graze somebody and put him out cold. But he gets him down, he can probably finish him. Just wobble him, put him on the ropes, and have the referee stop the fight. Now that 100 million. If Joshua comes back and looks good.
I think that from the next Wilder's fight onwards, there's going to be a bigger marketing campaign behind him than we've ever seen before. Just because he got a bogus draw with Fury and Joshua lost, so he has more kind of marketing power by default.
That's a good point. Now they have to make some actual effort to promote the guy. Now they have to because
Yeah, because before they were just riding off the possibility of him fighting Anthony Joshua. Here's another possibility. Something to think about. What if Joshua is damaged goods? We've seen this happen in boxing before. We've seen these type of fighters that they get a lot of clout, they make some good money, they get blown away in one fight, and they're never the same afterwards. This scenario where they could have made a whole lot of money fighting could be out the window. As of right now, it's out the window. Who the hell is going to pay them the money that they're looking for, right? They're talking about...
It's a $200 million fight, remember?
I mean, think about this shit. They're saying that the fight was worth $200 million. I don't even believe that, by the way. Just to let you guys, I don't want you guys to think I'm stupid, okay? So let me clarify myself. I don't believe there was $200 million. Shut up. I don't believe there was $200 million on the table. But let's say if that was the aspiration, you're never going to get that. That's not going to happen. Okay, it's going to take a fucking miracle to build
a fighter
AJ back up. It's just not going to happen. Okay, and so knowing Al Heyman might be like, you know what, maybe I'm losing interest. Wilder, go out there and just win if you could.
To make that kind of a fight, you would need to have two long time dominant champions, heavyweight champions, who have proven themselves, and that's just the foundation. Now you need to have some special persona attached to them, or some kind of unique thing, so you can promote them better, or there's a lot of variables that
guys.
I'm sorry. Look. Sorry. Look, why? I get it. Why are we talking about Joshua Wilder? Joshua, so far as we know, he's a bum. Okay, until he proves otherwise, he's a bum. We don't even need to be talking about Joshua fighting any other top level fighters until he rectifies what just happened. It's insane. I'm sorry. I don't mean to be like, I get why you guys are saying this, because they hype all this shit up so much, and it's a fucking dud anyway.
Well, it's interesting because it's interesting. Hold on, Gonzalo. Let me just real quick.
Hold on.
Gonzalo.
Sorry, yeah.
Make it quick because we got phone calls. Okay, please.
Yeah, he might be a bum, but I think in reality that Wilder was the one that was dragging his feet, for back a letter word, the one that was ducking. So shame to Wilder, because he could have taken the fight and been the one to dethrone Anthony Joshua and get the belts. But nonetheless, we had the guy that was ridiculed in Andrew Ruiz take over, and just sign to the BBC and get the belts. So credit to Ruiz for that. It's unprecedented. And again, it might be a shock to a lot of people. But then again, the ball's in Andrew Ruiz's court. He better take advantage of that.
That's right. Big fat balls hanging from Andy Luiz. You got that right. Let me just go to the phone real quick. Just go to the phone. 651. You're on the air. 651.
Hey, what's up, everyone? I
What's
wanted
up,
to call in because I think a lot of you guys, when you guys watched the walk-in, if you guys saw that, it took a while for Anthony Joshua to walk in the ring, right? It took like an extra 5 minutes or something. For me, that signified that something was wrong. And when he got into the ring, he looked like he was scared. And to me, either he got injured during the warm-up, or he was having like, too much sex or something, and like he couldn't tap into that fight mode. Right? Does anyone understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, I understand what you're saying, but here's another possibility. It's possible that it was his big shot in the U.S. market. He wanted to really get the entrance right or whatever, and that's why there was a delay. Because at the end of the day, at the end of the night, he started trading with Ruiz after he dropped him. He thought he had him out, and he ended up getting caught, and he never recovered. And his stamina sucks because he's too muscle bound, and he wasn't smart enough to realize that his stamina was gonna catch up.
It wasn't the muscle. I don't think it was like the training or anything. I think it was just the mindset. He trained his ass off in Miami, which is like the sex capital of the U.S. So.
Does he always chew his mouth guard like he was? Does he always do this?
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Dude, he looks like my brother's listening to it. He's like, he looks shook, bro. He's like, yo.
Did.
It's interesting because
he was really trying to find that eye of the tiger, and he just couldn't.
It's true. That's a good point. That's a good point. 'Cause I didn't see the entrance, by the way. That's why I can't comment. But I will say that back in my days in California in the industry, you would see guys that, like Recognize was saying, it really shows you what, because you have, listen, in the amateur boxing system, you have good fighters that travel all over the world. And when they get to the professional ranks, they can adapt better to a situation, whether they're fighting at home, hostile crowd, whatever. Joshua, you would have expected a guy with his amateur pedigree to be able to stand up to the heat, to the lights, right? And he couldn't
But it
do
was
it.
bogus.
That's the Olympic
He
gold
lost.
medal. In the,
He couldn't. Not that he lost.
No,
He
his
couldn't
half of his
focus.
amateur career was
He never
bogus.
put himself in the mindset.
yeah, I get what you're
Now,
saying,
Anthony
Pavel.
Joshua with 37 fights and 3 losses,
Yeah.
18
Yeah,
by
that's.
The
knockout,
rematch
the gold medal.
will be
Hold on.
way more.
Go ahead, 651. Go ahead. Say what you want to say, because we gotta get to another call. Go ahead.
I think the rematch will be a lot better because he was training for Miller, and Miller is a completely different fighter than Ruiz, even if you look at the bodies and they're the same. But I think the rematch will be better. AJ will actually be focused this time. It'll be better. He won't look like a bomb. Although, yeah, he did look like a complete bomb. All
He
right.
looked like a.
The Fight Scout signing out. All right, later, guys.
It was Fight Scout. Fight Scout. All right, Fight Scout. Thanks for calling in, man. All right, take it easy, Fight Scout. Fight Scout, the
He
one
brought
and
us some
only.
good points. He brought us some good
definitely.
points. Look. Fighting is boxing is it's a very tricky sport. It's a mind Jedi thing. You know, it's like you gotta like know when to calm yourself, know when to like not be too calm. Look,
Of course, yes.
I think that AJ. And look, I'm not making excuses for him. I didn't see the fucking fight. I didn't see the fight because, I was at work and I was talking to you guys. But my brother's a pretty good judge of character. My brother said, "Yo, the boy looked shook when he got in the ring. He knew he was taking the ass whipping that night." He said, "This is what he said. I think he went for it because he had nothing else to do, nothing else to bring, and he just got fucked up in the end." That's how my brother. That's how my brother is seeing it, right? And one experience that I can share with you guys, right? I remember when I was boxing in the amateur. I was going to fight in the PL. It's called the PAL League. It was New York. New York fighters had to go to Philadelphia, and we had to fight the guys over there. I remember feeling I'm going to lose today. I'm going to lose today. I'm going to lose today. Today I'm going to lose. And I was trying to fight that feeling. I was like, I'm going to lose. I'm going to lose. I didn't talk to nobody. They kept talking to me like, "Yo, you hype? You hype? You hype? You hype?" You know, some guys were real loose and shit. And I'm like, I don't know why. I'm just fucking nervous. I went to Brooklyn. I fought guys there. I did good. I don't know what the fuck is wrong there. I'm just a little bit afraid. I remember I got off that bus. These kids from Philadelphia were talking shit to me. They was talking mad shit, whatever. And but I remember thinking I was gonna lose. Out of nowhere, when it was time to fight, totally different. I felt totally different. I don't know why. I just felt totally different. Went in there and won. Beat the guy in his hometown.
You know what it could be too? It could be your short-term sixth sense. I'm not kidding. I think there's something to that. I think maybe some part of your subconscious knew what was going to happen. That's why you were nervous. I don't know. Maybe that's just me saying that shit.
No, it's just it's a little bit of a shared experience that it just goes to. These things are tricky, man. They're real like fucking tricky. Usually when my father would always say, when he was my trainer, my father would always tell me, "Look, if you feel too nervous, you choke up. That's what happens. You choke up and you don't let yourself go low. Maybe somebody punches you in your face and some senses get knocked into you, and you're able to fight back to normal again, relaxed, right?
Mm-hmm.
But don't count on that. But sometimes it's just this whole roller coaster that it takes you time to calm down. I don't think AJ
roller coaster.
All right, Gonzalo,
Can I add,
hold
before
on.
I lose my train of
Gonzalo,
thought? Recognize.
We're gonna take another phone call, man.
Gonzalo.
Just let me mention something real quick.
Gonzalo.
Look, the circadian rhythms of a fighter. Look, he's coming from overseas.
All right, I had to mute him. Sorry, Gonzalo. We gotta get to the phone call because he's been waiting for 11 minutes. We'll get to you after the phone call. Sorry. 315. You're on the air. 315.
Yeah, this is 1-2 Kid, man.
Oh.
I just I don't agree with what they just said. I used to box too, and it's a mindset, and you gotta be a Rolling Stone when you walk in there one way or the other. And this is me just switching the subject on what they was just talking about. But you gotta be a Rolling Stone wherever you go. You gotta be straight. Boom. You know what I mean? There's been times when I had bad mindsets, but still in all, it's got to be in you. So just go for it all the time, man. You just got to hype yourself up. And now I want to touch on what Precise said about Vlad. The thing that Vlad did that these guys ain't doing nowadays is he had issues with adversity, so he got better to avoid the adversity. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like he worked more on his defense. He stuck his jab. He stepped back more. He used angles. You know what I mean? And these guys ain't doing that. They relying on it. And like I said, fucking dude was just admiring his work and wasn't pulling his hand back. He landed that left hook and just stood there like, yeah, I hit him. And then he got popped in the back of the head. You know what I mean? So that's exactly what happened. That's all that happened, man. That's all that happened to that dude.
It's
and that's how I see it.
I partly agree with that. That it is with the getting caught thing. He got caught. Fucking shitty defense, leaky defense. Now the thing about it is though about the being like a Rolling Stone. I like how the way you said that, but it's kind of hard as an amateur when you're fighting about twice or 3 times, 4 times a month, sometimes maybe more.
Right. Oh no, yeah, it's extremely difficult fighting as an amateur, and going to different places. Absolutely. But when you take someone like AJ, who's fighting in front of fucking 50, 60, 80 fucking thousand people, the fuck does he have an issue fighting in the garden? How many people fit in the fucking garden?
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? Because he's went away from home. I mean, that's in his heart. He got to work that shit out.
Yeah, that's a good point.
You know
That's what I was
You're
saying.
the fucking heavyweight champion of the world, man. Get your fucking
he's
balls
fought.
up.
He's fought in front. Yeah, he's fought. He's
Man,
fought.
you got ovaries or you got fucking balls? Let him hang.
He's fought in front of 90,000 people over in England, maybe more. He can't handle the garden. Nah, he got caught. The motherfucker got caught. And
He
if
got
he did,
caught. He got beat. That's it. He just
Exactly.
got beat. But
like a Rolling Stone.
You could
He
come
I
in
don't
with
care about how he came out. You know what I mean? You can't focus on his. You know what I mean? What he's doing. Like we're counting on what he does in the ring. Fuck his ring walk.
All right, now
that's what he trains for, right?
Yeah. Now
you know what I mean? That's what he trains for. He trains to get in the fucking square circle and fucking let his hands go. And that's what he's supposed to do. And defend himself so he could let his hands go again. He didn't do that.
I agree.
He got countered.
It's
Straight
like
point blank, period.
The only way I can put it's on him. All right, Gonzalo, you want to say something? Sorry about that, but we had to get to the caller first. Are you still there, Gonzalo?
Yes, hello.
Yes.
I'm back on. I was just going to say real quick, I can mention about the acclimatization period, with while they're coming from overseas. He didn't necessarily fight like in a hot zone. But, look, with the time difference, they keep mentioning, the UK fighters having to stay up to, 1 or 2 o'clock at night. I don't necessarily know the difference between the time zone from California or New York to the United Kingdom. But if this guy came in within less than 28 days, the circadian rhythm within the sleep pattern, because I took a little bit of classes for that, is different. So where maybe the guy had a little bit of jet lag going, where he wasn't totally alert. Could be, question
that's
that
his
also.
fault. But then that's his fault.
Yeah, but that's on
Promotion,
him.
his
Yeah,
training, everyone should take care of that.
Exactly. He should know that.
Okay.
You guys want a little bit of a conspiracy theory, or is it too late for all that?
Go ahead.
No, go ahead, Cardinal. Go ahead. Go ahead, of course.
Hold on.
Do
Conspiracy
you guys know
theory?
what the hidden hand is? Go ahead, BA. Go ahead.
No, I'm playing the music for your conspiracy theory. All right, go ahead. Sorry about that.
Do you guys know what the hidden hand is?
The hidden hand.
No.
Isn't
The
that
what?
No.
Hidden hand. When it's like an Illuminati sign where you'll see paintings. Let me explain. You'll see dignitaries, politicians, or paintings of old like knights and all this stuff, and they'll put their left hand, usually I think it is, and put it under the lapel of their jacket or whatever.
Yeah.
And like they do it all the time. If you start paying attention, you'll see it.
Ah, yeah. I
Sam,
know.
just Google it. Hidden Hand Illuminati.
Yeah,
Sam Watson during the
Hold on.
during the
Time out.
Mex. Let me finish. Sam Watson during the Mexican anthem, where everybody put their fists on their heart. He did the hidden hand thing, and
Yeah.
just the whole idea of Anthony Joshua giving him his titles before the fight. If you're not into like symbolism and the occult and stuff like that, you could call me all kinds of names that you want. That's fine. I won't be offended. But to me, um, this shit was rigged, guys. This is not. Yeah, we could try to find excuses and explanations. What happened to AJ in that ring? That wasn't the AJ that we know. Okay, and I think it's all speculation. What happened to him? We don't know, and I think mine is just as legit as any other one. But it's just something to consider. Um, Look, and what plays into this is obviously making history. The first heavyweight Mexican champion ever. Big money potentially. Blah 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 blah.
Yeah. All of a
Like
sudden,
there's
yeah, it's
all
true.
this
Hold
all this
on.
stuff plays into it, and then there's obviously going to be the rematch. AJ's going to win the rematch. It doesn't matter what Ruiz tries to do. AJ's going to win because it's going to be a different AJ all of a sudden. Blah blah blah. Maybe I'm wrong. Who knows? We'll see. But it's just like he gave him his title. Like no fighter does this. They don't
Ever.
just like ever. He just gave him
Yeah.
his titles. And then all of a sudden we got Sam Watson in the ring, and it's just like, oh, he's fighting. I didn't even know he was fighting for the PBC. I don't really follow like this shit,
I
but
didn't
I'm
even know
looking.
it either.
That's
That's
why.
true.
That's why I noticed it
He
because
did
it's
do
like,
it.
wait a minute, he's all there with all these Mexican cats, and they're doing the fist to the heart, and he's doing the Illuminati sign, and I'm just like, okay,
Can I just?
this is just weird. Yeah, go ahead, man. Go ahead.
Yeah, seriously, you've brought up a good point with that hidden hand because I've seen in portraits of Civil War era American generals, they had their hand like hidden behind the front lapel of a jacket, like,
Bro, look
yeah,
up Napoleon. Next time
yeah,
you're in a museum in Poland, you go look up any of these like famous knights or
I
kings
know
or
what you're
whatever the hell they
talking
were.
about.
Look at old
Yeah.
paintings of all these people. They all do this.
Yeah, I've seen that, and I've seen a Wikipedia article on that, but there was like a mention that it was just a gesture of royalty, like typical to royalty, but nothing about Illuminati stuff. So, and yeah, but yeah, you may be onto something. And one thing I'd like to add is a bit unrelated to the color, the one previous to the one we had just before. Yeah, what I've said about Joshua's amateur career being bogus is that, yeah, even though he had some, a couple of international tournaments going on, like the World Championships, uh, look, he didn't gain anything from it. Look at Kovalev, for example, or Usyk. They travel around the world and they slay everyone in front of them. Uh, but the last BDA live podcast was titled, I think, Joshua's Conquest of America. Conquest my ass. Come on, guys. He got flattened by Andy Ruiz, and credit all to Andy, but for for a guy who's been marketed as much as Joshua, it just shouldn't happen.
1, 2. Anything else you want to say before we move on?
Absolutely. Um, I noticed that too after Precise brought it up that he handed him his titles, and I was like, damn, that's a little weird. And then he won, and I was like, damn, that's just really weird. But back to my mentality about how I think about things, Joshua should have hidden his hand in his pants and pulled his fucking balls down and fucking did what the fuck he had to do. That's the fuck he
He
should
fought
have
like a
did.
bitch.
So yeah, you're right. You know what I mean? And he should have just tended the business the way he was supposed to. I mean, he goes to the training. He knows he's traveling to New York, and his promotion team and his training team and everybody's there getting paid buku bucks to make sure that he's on point when he gets in there. So let's not. He knows who's around him, and he pays who's around him. So let's not make excuses for him. Andy Ruiz is the new champion, and it's the first Mexican champion. And congratulations to him, and God bless him for what he did. But I was hoping that somebody spoiled this long, drawn-out fucking bullshit anyway. And in the heavyweight division that it is today, that's what's gonna happen. I'm hoping it might happen in the welterweight division because I would certainly like to see Bud just take over the fucking division because all the other champions is acting like bitches.
Hey, caller, you might
Check
see
out my
that. You
channel.
might see the next big thing go down. Don't be surprised.
Hmm.
It might be like, yo. It might be like, listen, man, check this out. Go earn your shit. We got nothing anymore.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? It's like we don't have anything. So if you win, you win. You lose. I can't help you, bro. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, yeah,
Absolutely.
these motherfuckers fucked up, and it's not the first time that a super fight, or well, at least in terms of dollars, has gone down the drain because these two teams, greedy little pigs, greedy, impolite, rude little pigs, couldn't get together and get a price and accept the price. Well, now look at them now. They have to rebuild, and now the PBC, they're actually gonna have to promote Deontay Wilder because that big payday. Now it's the Tyson Fury. That's their mega fight, the Tyson Fury rematch, and Old Man Ortiz. Anyway, 315. Anything else you want to say before we let you go?
Nah, that's it. But I know the LDBC is still happier than a fag with a bag of dicks. Absolutely. Have a good night, y'all. Have a good one.
Peace.
And
Peace,
Precise, what up,
315.
man? Have a good one. Everybody do their thing. One.
All right, 1-2. Thank you for calling in, man. Yeah. By the way, Apology's not on anymore, but he wanted me to play his favorite song, the rapping song there.
Dick was so good that he just couldn't pass up. So hold that week, yeah, I'm tearing that ass up. Cause he loved to ride him and he loved to suck him. And after I was done, I let my homeboys fuck him.
Too bad he's not here to enjoy that.
Terrible, man. Jesus Christ.
Too bad he's not here to enjoy that. But listen, guys, I think at the end of the day, we've said a lot, and I think we can all agree that at least the silver lining from all this is, number one, good to see an upset. We all enjoy that as boxing fans. And number two, we can finally put to rest this whole AJ Wilder saga, at least for the moment. At least for the moment.
Please, let's do, yes.
Yeah.
It's like boring. It's boring.
I got a question for Mr. BDA.
Go ahead, Gonzalo.
Is this a greater upset than the Mike Tyson
No.
41-1?
No, not even close.
And Buster
Not even
Douglas? Okay.
Joshua was never as dominant as Tyson was. Not even close.
True.
Let it sink in though. Because it's kind of new, but I think it's just.
I already let it sink in. The answer is no.
Buster Douglas had been knocked out before he fought Mike Tyson. He was a kind of like a middle of the road contender, top contender. You know, one of those guys that can get there, but when he fought other top contenders, he usually lost those fights. So,
But Buster was lazy. He had tremendous talent, especially his jab. It was like the fucking piston.
And how you
So basically, for that time, they were greater recognized, right? The heavyweights were better.
Well,
for
look,
the time.
you know, at the time, yeah, you had Mike Tyson was a more dominant champion than Wilder or Anthony Joshua ever was. But just to show you how big of an underdog Buster Douglas was. Buster Douglas in his next fight got one punched, knocked out by Evander Holyfield, who was a great fighter, but was not a one-punch knockout guy. He knocked
thank you for that knowledge.
He knocked out.
I always like learning.
Buster Douglas with one punch, a counter punch, and it took him out.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's not nearly the upset that Tyson, because Joshua, you could see it coming from a mile away. He was gonna get clipped, and it's the same thing with Wilder, guys. I mean, it's gonna happen to Wilder too. Don't be surprised if Old Man Ortiz catches him with a Hail Mary left hand or something.
You know, there's a lot of things that Precise just mentioned, and before Precise mentioned it, that I was starting to think this whole shit is bullshit. You know, Wilder saying, "Who knows? I might fight Ortiz 3 times." It's like, okay,
geez.
why? Why would you fight him 3 times if you beat him the second time? You know, like
Yeah, but I mean,
need.
You know what? Regarding, because I know there's a lot of people in the chat room that are gonna say, "Oh, come on, conspiracy theories about rigged fights, whatever." Listen, with enough money. And you know, these organizations, they can kill presidents, they can set people up for tax evasion, you know, they can set somebody up to be with a hooker.
They can certainly set up a boxing fight.
Exactly. I mean, if they want to rig a fight, these guys at the top, I'm not talking the real top guys, but I'm talking guys like Al Heyman, maybe some other guys
Jay Prince.
Jay Prince, exactly. Maybe some other guys we've never even heard of. They get together and they say, look, or maybe somebody above them passes the order and they have to carry it through, no questions asked. I mean, you know what it takes. You know what you got to do to get into these fucking secret societies, right? I mean, you got to compromise yourself. And they come up to you and they say, do this, do that. You go, yes, sir, when, sir, and that's it. There's no questions asked.
And Joshua's been talking about losing. He's been, I don't know if you guys listened to any of his recent interviews, but he said, like, I'm going to lose one day or something along those lines, or I could lose any one of these fights.
Yeah.
Nothing is guaranteed. He's been talking about it. Like, who talks like this? No undefeated fighter talks like that.
Seriously.
How about what he said? I'm living proof. This is after Vladimir Klitschko that if I could become champion, any of you guys could become champion.
What? He
Yeah.
said
Think about
that?
what he just said. I want you to think about what he just said.
The
He
fuck?
just said,
Think about it.
if
You're
I
supposed
just
to be
became
special.
champion, fucking become champion.
Yeah.
So can
I mentioned that I wanted to go to the boxing gym and go train on the speed bag and hit the heavy bag before this happened. But now with the opposite, I think I'm gonna go sign up tomorrow. I'm gonna go drive to General Santos and talk to a boo boy.
Well, you
The
know,
fatter the better, bro. The fatter the better.
well, yeah.
I love you guys, man. Fucking the truth.
But you know what? It's interesting. Look, in regards to the conspiracy theory, I'm just throwing it out there. Obviously, nobody's got any concrete proof, but it would. I mean, would for the people out there that have lived life long enough, would it really surprise you? You know what I mean? I mean, it's with all the crazy things that happen in boxing. I'm still more willing to give Ruiz credit for that left hook he landed and the fact that AJ's got shitty stamina. But you just never know. You just never know.
Yeah,
Look,
no, that's true.
I give the guy credit. It's, it could be what you're saying could be true. I mean, it did happen like that. If we are just not to speculate about anything and just look at what happened in the ring, yeah, he got caught and he never recovered. Point blank, period. Let's leave it at that. But if somebody's gonna go into, oh well, he's sleeping with hookers, maybe. Oh well, he's living the life, whatever. Like start speculating. Well, I mean, at least I had some evidence for the conspiracy theory that I presented. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
Precisely.
Yeah, but
like facts are facts and speculation is speculation.
it's like fuck the little Mexican guy, the fucking chubby guy that used to steal my lunch when I was in elementary school. You know, the guy that used to fucking bully me for the fucking tetherball or
Yeah,
the
that guy.
basketball. You know, fuck him because I was the second best tough fighter in my school until that guy came around. And like precisely, I used to fight fat guys. That motherfucker used to come around every time in the afternoon to pick a fight with me. He's the guy that fucking always gave me a tough match. I tried to avoid him. Not that I couldn't kick his ass because I was much faster than him, but he's always a nuisance. And that's that guy. So I will not always give him credit, but nonetheless, he's a champion and he's got 4 belts. Let's see what he can do.
And
Gonzalo,
like
any
when you look at what transpired, why wasn't Joshua holding? Like why wasn't he holding?
Oh, he tried. He tried though. I saw him trying. But hold on a
Listen,
second.
Maybe
I didn't
Before
see the fight, so I can't. But precise to go back to your point. Like, look, you take everything at face value. You see what happens. And if you don't have, you can have your speculations, but if you don't have no proof, all I say is, yeah, listen, he got beat up. That's what I saw. He looked different in the fight, but he got beat up. But you know that this is true because this is already had been admitted a long time ago. Jake LaMotta went up there and said, "Yes, listen, I threw a fight with that bum, and then beat the long reigning middleweight champion of France, where the fuck that guy was from, Sudan, okay, and beat the fucking shit out of him." So he, and I'm sure that at the time when Jake LaMotta got beat up by this bum, there were people that were shocked. They were like, "I can't believe Jake LaMotta just didn't look the same." And
I
they were
recognize.
speculating, probably saying, he threw the fight. Your conspiracy theories. And the next thing you know, he's like, yeah, listen, they put me up to it. They said the only way I was going to get a fight with Marcel Sedan, whatever his name was to throw the fight. Whether he was bullshitting or not, he said it.
All right.
But suppose there's no mafia today like before and all that.
Nah, there's still some element of that. Maybe not the same specific organization,
Bob
but
Arum.
yeah,
Bob Arum. He's been around forever. Come on.
And by the way, before we continue, shout out to G Boogie who says all hail. He donated with the super chat and he says all hail King Majin Buu, the Mexican asesino. And then he donated again and he says, like Andrew Dice Clay said, Clarissa Shields, I put a bag over her head and I fuck her. Oh, listen, G Boogie, I know you won. I know you want money, but don't spend it all on BDA boxing. I mean, I love that
Jesus,
the
you
fucking
spend a lot
country.
of money.
Yeah, you can don't spend it all on us, man. By the way, before we continue, and we gotta go soon. We got one call here. 646, you're on the line.
He could be in some fights in the future.
646, you're on the
You
line.
have to say,
646, you're on the line. He's watching TV.
New York, step up.
New York,
646,
646, you're on the line, man. 646, 646. Anyway, I'll keep him muted for the moment, see if he wakes up. But yeah, listen, conspiracy theories, I'm like, anything can happen.
Conspiracy theories are fun, man. They're fun.
But hold
They're
on,
fun.
anything. What I'm
Listen,
saying is, anything, and nothing would surprise me at this point. Nothing, and you got to remember something that I was going to bring up. That Anthony Joshua was on that. I mentioned this in another podcast. He was on that Breakfast Club show, that radio show in New York, promoting the Miller fight, and he had Bruce Knuckles, and they asked him, well, why do you got Bruce Knuckles? And he goes, oh, it's because I got a skin condition. And people were they were laughing because it didn't make any sense. Obviously, he had the condition of punching walls. Now, if you've ever been in that type of situation, you know it's not fun to hit walls, but it does happen when you are angry. So he was pissed off at something. Now, whether it was financial, whether it was girl issues, promotional issues, whatever, it's not all hunky dory in Anthony Joshua's world. So, again, that's another little info
Fight
there.
Scout got it. He said 100% X poisoned Anthony Joshua. That's what happened. Yeah, spread that rumor around.
He got a call from Marcellus Wallace, and he said, "You're going down in the 7th."
Oh, yeah, like Floyd. Poor Floyd ended up getting killed.
That's pride fucking with you.
I ain't your friend, Palooka. All right, listen. What else do we have to say? So yeah, look, listen. We've been on the air for 2 hours and 16 minutes now. It's 2 a.m. where I'm at right now. I don't know, Pavel. What time is it over there in Poland?
It's 12 to 8 a.m.
Oh, jeez. All right, that's at the hour I'm gonna wake up tomorrow. Precise where you're at right now. What time is it?
It's 15 to 1.
Okay, don't give me the military fucking time, man. What? 15 to 1. Okay, yeah. Jesus, 15. Okay, that's.
Yeah, almost 1 o'clock.
And recognize I know what time it is where you're at because it's about the same. It's the same one as here in Montreal.
You know, hey, buddy. You know what time it is, okay? You and I know what time.
Are you still at work or are you home right now?
Nah, I'm in my house relaxing.
All right, good for you, man.
A little nice little something, you know.
Oh, hold on a second. Shout out to G Boogie and Bay Area, California. Shout out to Bay Area, who also donated earlier in
U.S. media not giving Ruiz credit. Wilder wants him. I guess so.
Yeah, G Boogie says, BDA, it's all good, my brother. You can't take your money with you when you perish through talk. Like we say, an air assault, work hard, play hard. Right? And yeah, Bay Area, California says, the U.S. media is not giving Ruiz any credit. Wilder won tonight. I wanna see what that's all about as soon as I get the time.
Well, it's the same thing when Pacquiao got knocked out by Marquez. It's the same thing.
Oh yeah, people were giving Mayweather
who
credit
won that
for,
night?
yeah.
Who really
Floyd.
knocked him out in that
Floyd.
fight? Yes.
Yeah, because he's the one that stepped in there in the ring with him.
Right.
Instead of, I mean, and these people just want to take credit for whatever the fuck. I was gonna say it's interesting how the Wilder fans, they're probably not boxing fans. I mean, I know they're not boxing fans, but I'm curious about when they started watching boxing. My prediction is that they probably started watching boxing at around the time Mayweather became a mainstream star. So we're talking 2007, 2008. And
there's guys on YouTube that are like that. They think they're big shots. They just started watching boxing. You could tell what the topics they talk about.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because there was there's a lot of them, like all boxing, for example. He's a huge Wilder fan, and he comes to troll in here. I'm surprised he didn't come here to troll because he thinks we're all AJ fans. But I saw his pound for pound list because he actually has a channel, and I checked it out, and his pound for pound list. And his pound for pound list was all, he only gave us the top 5, but it was all black people or semi-black people. And I said, all right, that lets me know.
He's
all
the guy
I need
that said, Lomachenko. This is how he calls it.
Yeah.
Not Lomachenko or Lomachenka. Lomachenko.
I mean, these guys like him were probably fans.
Chiquio.
They were probably watching before Mayweather. They were probably watching basketball, the NFL, or drive-bys. I don't know, but they weren't watching boxing. I can tell you that much right now. So that's just my opinion.
Drive-bys is what they were watching.
Well, I don't know. Listen,
Power Rangers and Teletubbies. That's what they were watching.
well, wait a minute. What's wrong with watching the Teletubbies? What's wrong with watching the Teletubbies? But listen, yeah, it's gonna
Gay.
be it's gonna be it's gonna be interesting to see what people how people try to twist this story around. I'm ready to go into the cesspool of boxing scene and all these other YouTube channels and read the comments because. By the way, RR1000 says AJ got booed. Did he get booed when he was giving his interview?
He snatched the mic away from Ruiz and kind of tried to hog the spotlight, and then they went to Hearn, and the crowd started booing because they didn't really allow Ruiz to finish his interview. It was really awkward, and it was just weird, man. The whole post-fight coverage was just bizarre. The whole thing was just really, really bizarre.
You know what I find bizarre is that the guy that hooks me up with tickets was like, yeah, I could get you tickets, but like he was telling me like some nosebleeds and shit. I'm like, yo, you always give me fucking nice tickets. What's going on? Like, I got the money. It's not a problem. You know, oh, I just can't get you the tickets in the front. I'm like, all right, no problem. Give it to somebody else.
You should have taken the tickets, man. Any type of ticket is a good ticket.
I find that to be a conspiracy theory.
Yeah. Oh, maybe. Yeah. You gotta look into that.
They didn't want me around. I think X has something to do with that.
Well, let me ask you, what race is he or what denomination?
He's a black dude, but I've known him for a long time.
All right.
That piece of shit.
Now I'm starting to think to myself, black dude, X.
Yeah, conspiracy.
You know, guys,
you see what I'm saying?
I'll tell you something, and I gotta be honest from the bottom of my heart.
There's
I'm sorry to
Gonzalo, yeah.
recognize. Go ahead, finish. I
No
hate
problem.
cutting you off.
No,
I hate cutting you off because that's not my intention.
Today's your day, my brother. Go ahead.
It's just the fact alone that they keep dragging these negotiations, and I'm happy it just came to a stalemate, or how do you call it? I don't know. But the fact that it shuts the fuck up with the PBC or the fucking LDBC or Al Heyman, which is a mystery guy, whatever they want to project or not, and they got the facts fucking going on a roller coaster for the fans. I mean, if it comes to a fucking shocking end or a twist to the whole situation, I'm glad. I'm glad because we just have to reshuffle and think of something new because we don't want it just gets old, and it's about time. And I know we just kind of question Josh's performance, and I agree with Precise because nobody's going to give you breaking news. But the truth of the fact of the matter is he did not perform the way. That's why I'm stretching it out to whether he did not, the time zone, this and that. But it wasn't the same Joshua. Something happened there. But I'm just glad something else is
Something
happening.
happened. He got his ass beat. Something happened to him. Yeah, I agree.
Maybe.
He got beat up.
That's the only thing we could all agree on. That's the only thing we know for a fact. He got his ass beat, so let's stick to that.
Yeah, we'll see what happens in the
speculation.
We'll see what happens in the future. Let's see if they rematch and let's see how Joshua looks. For the moment, upset. Finally got the AJ fucking Joshua thing out of the AJ Wilder thing out of the way. And I was gonna comment on something that so just real curious because I didn't get to see the post-fight comment interview or anything. I was setting up the stream. When you say that AJ snatched the mic away from Ruiz, was it really like a snatching or was it an awkward type of, hey, let me have the mic for a second?
Yeah, he grabbed the mic away from, actually, Chris Mannix was holding the mic and interviewing Ruiz, and they started mentioning Joshua, and he just like walked in and grabbed the mic literally from Mannix and started to like kind of walk away with it, like you know how they do in Japan after they win the fight. He started to like do that whole thing. It was just weird, and he had a smile on his face.
He didn't look salty at all.
No, he didn't look devastated or anything. He was just like it was Twilight Zone, man. I was just sitting there with my mouth dropped.
New York is a strange place, people.
Yeah, but then again,
weird place.
Then again, he was laughing when he got dropped. Because he got hit with left hook, he got wobbled, and then as he was getting hit and going down, he was still laughing. So maybe he's just a meathead who that's his expression every time something bad happens to him. He just tries to laugh it off. I don't know.
He was laughing because He was laughing because he was like, "Oh shit, this dude's gonna beat me, man." Like I
Yeah,
thought he would.
imagine you're a guy like Joshua, 6'5", all muscle, and a fat dude like Ruiz just slaps you around like that. It's gotta
Oh,
tickle the
Michael
old.
Stott, yes. Los Angeles is a strange place. I know. I was there, and I like it, but it was a strange place.
It's a strange place, especially if you explore it and you don't know where you're going. You can end up in some weird places. Let me tell you that much right
Oh
now.
yeah.
All right, so listen, I think I think we've said about as much as we can say regarding this exciting moment in boxing that I don't want to talk about ever again because I've had enough of this
Viva
bullshit.
Mexico! Viva
Hey, but
Mexico!
you know what, guys? Is it possible? Does this serve as an example now for Bob Arum and the PBC to fucking make Terence Crawford Errol Spence before something like this happens?
Boy, I hope
No.
that's next, man, but I don't think so.
Yeah, I think they're too
They're all,
hard-headed.
it's all made, bro. Everything is already made. If you catch my drift.
Yeah,
The table is
unfortunately.
tilted.
Yeah, unfortunately, I think
Yeah.
I know what you're saying, and I would agree with that. Behind the
But like,
scenes,
just to your point. Sorry, BDA. I want to say one last thing, and then I'll piece the fuck out. To your point about AJ, all muscled up and useless. I used to date this chick who would always say, "Ain't nothing worse than a ninja with a big dick who can't fuck."
oh,
That's all I gotta say.
oh, I think I heard my mother said that. I heard my mother say that once. Maybe it was her. Jeez. All right.
Man, you're a crazy man.
All right. So listen, guys. I'm gonna hit the hay. I'm falling asleep here, but thank you guys for showing up. Really appreciate it, and I really appreciate you being here. I know some of you were here earlier with Bucho as well. So thank you for joining in, and thank you for giving us your thoughts. Anything else you want to say before we go?
Yes, I want to say peace, and if old Pappy is listening, you gotta call in, bro. Old Pappy, come on, man.
Who?
You versus X. Pappy. Old Pappy, whatever the fuck that dude's name. The country dude.
Oh yeah, that guy. Yeah, you want him to call back? I'd rather he didn't. But hey, listen, that's everybody's got their own opinion.
I'd rather he calls in. How about that?
All
Have him
right,
call in, please.
I'll reach out to him because I know him. I'm being sarcastic,
Yeah.
by the way. John Gonzalez says another lame BDA joke of the day. Come on, man. You're gonna call my jokes lame? I think that's our cue to get the fuck out of here. Thanks a lot, everybody, for joining in. Again, check out Recognize the Matrix's channel. Check out Precise's channel. Is it Fight Film or Fight Fan? It's Fight Film, right?
Fight Film.
Fight Film,
yeah. Thanks.
And don't forget to check out Carnival, his other channel where he preaches anti-veganism, or actually not anti-anything. It's just right nutrition, healthy lifestyles, stuff like that. It's pretty. Once you go into his videos, you can't really get out because it's a weird journey. This whole nutrition thing. I want to give a shout out to Gonzalo. Who else was here? Reverse Lee, Pavel, of course. Apology. And I forget who else was on the hang.
Stu, we hope you're okay.
Yeah. Let's pray for Stu, guys. Pray for Stu because he's probably drinking some Guinness. He's probably like Ricky Hatton after he got knocked out by Mayweather. Remember that? He was in a pool in Las Vegas just pouring the fucking Guinness one after the other. That's probably the Stu right now. So thanks a lot, everybody. Was that?
John Gonzalez, listen, at least Ruiz was a champion. He's talking about the Puerto Rican Ruiz. I'm going to say at least he was a champion, okay?
Yeah, that's right. And he didn't get knocked. He got knocked the fuck out by Tua, and then he learned from his mistakes and ended up being a...
That's right.
Yeah, so you could give him that. You can definitely give him that. All right, listen, guys. Thanks again for joining us.
Peace.
Really appreciate it. I appreciate everybody who donated as well. G Boogie has to be the champ of the night with his fucking when it comes to his contributions. I'm trying to pull up the. Oh, come on. All right, so good night to all the panelists. Thank you for joining us. Let me just give a shout out real quick here to.
Take care, guys.
All right, Pavel, thanks for joining us, man. And Gonzalo, you too, man. Sorry we cut you off every once in a while, but it's just we had to get to the callers before they dropped off. Okay, I'm trying to pull off something here. Super chats. Oh boy, it's taking its time. Late at night, and I'm falling asleep here, guys. All right. I want to give a shout out to Gonzalo, who donated as well. I think he donated during the Bucho's show as well. So shout out to Gonzalo, shout out to John Gonzalez, shout out to Jay Green. Sorry we couldn't get you through. We're still trying to figure out how to take calls for overseas calls. Virtuoso, Mr. E, G Boogie, 50 times thanks to G Boogie. The Great, 23-ish. Gonzalo as well. Bay Area, California. I know Bay Area donated earlier as well during another show. Box 88 as well. So thank you guys for donating. You keep the gravy train rolling. That's how we keep the telephone lines open. Don't forget to check us out on Twitter. Don't forget to download the episodes on Spreaker and iTunes. Don't forget you can donate via PayPal if you're so inclined to keep the gravy train rolling. Although with G Boogie's contributions, I think we're set for the fucking year. G Boogie says, BDA, take your old man nap before you pass out. I think I already passed out. I'm running on fumes here. So big thanks again to all of you guys on the Hangout who joined. Big thanks to everybody in the chat room. Michael Stott, Hawker Mustang, Cachnello, Rodney Davies, RR, Job, Southpaw, Hawker Mustang, 1-2 Kid, The Fox Strikes, One Hitter, Pop Tart. Who else am I missing here? Punch for Pound. Gonzalo was in there as well. G Boogie, of course. Pavel was in there as well. Both. John Gonzalez. Whew. Thank you guys for joining us. We got through this. What an upset. Fantastic night of boxing. We'll catch you in the next one. See ya, people. Take it easy. Have a good night. Let's catch some shut eye. See you in the next one, folks. Take it easy.